Florida. And before we hop into this lesson, first and foremost, we're going to give all praise to the Most High in their true Paleo Hebrew names and in the Paleo Hebrew tongue. And with that, we're going to say Ka, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Ha, Rakah, Quadash, Ma'amah. All right, we want to give double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS, double honors to our elder as well, Ahar Wine, and shalom to you brothers and sisters, pushing and keeping this truth and faith and sincerity until the end, man. And with that, we're going to get it started.
All right, so we're going to go into a touchy topic dealing with our people, especially the 2/3 that feel like when you rebuke them, or not even necessarily rebuke them, try to give them counsel on their sickness, all right, dwelling in the flesh and dwelling in sin, the first thing the statement that they like to make is, who are you to judge? You're being very judgmental, or only God can judge me, right? And they're right. Only God, only the Most High Yahweh can judge them. But how is he judging these people? Or how is he measuring these people? Through his words. And who did he send his word through? His prophets. So for you to say, for anybody to say that nobody out here on this earth can judge, why is there a book of Judges in the scriptures, in the Bible? It's a book called the Book of Judges. But our people are so stuck in sin and caught up in this facade that Esau created that they're willing to go to this court system and abide by and let Esau judge them, but they don't want to be judged by their own people. Go ahead.
This is Zechariah chapter 7, verse 11. But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder. There's somebody talking to somebody.
I guess.
And pulled away the shoulder and stopped the ears, that they should not hear. Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law. That's what he's trying to help with.
God.
And the words which Yahweh of hosts have sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from Yahweh of hosts.
All right, so now you ought to be thankful that there's men out here on the highways and byways letting you know what's about to happen to this place and try not so you don't get caught up in the judgment. So yeah, you're right. We're being very judgmental. Somebody get no, Ezekiel 9:4 real quick. You got one? Yes. So basically, but when we pass judgment according to the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai off to our people, they refuse it. They do this number. Move the shoulder out the way and cover their ear, talk to the hand, and all that kind of stuff. The people don't want to hear proper judgment. That's why to 2/3 of our people, when Yahweh Shai came on the scene, that was the condemnation to them, because they wanted to stick according to the wicked deeds that they were doing in the darkness, and they didn't want light shedded upon them, because that means they would have to be reproved and be corrected and changed. But 2/3 of our people don't want that change.
All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsake the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die.
All right, and they're going to die in their sins. But they're not going to ever be able to say that they weren't warned. That the Lord, they are not going to be able to say that the Most High did not try to correct them first. All right? That's why he sent the prophets out there. He's not going to come off his throne and come to your living room like, hey, tighten up. No, he's going to send his prophets out there. So it's not the men that you see in front of your face passing judgment off onto you. It's the Most High through these men passing judgment off onto you. Because it's not our opinion. It's not what we say. It's all thus saith the Lord according to his word. Go ahead.
I got the definition for the word grievous.
Yeah.
It says bad, evil, bad, disagreeable, malignant, bad, unpleasant, giving pain, unhappiness, evil, distress, misery, injury, calamity. So basically, hey, just like the brother was speaking on, man, hey, when you try to correct our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, they don't want to be corrected. Why? Because they're complacent. They're comfortable within the ways that they're already in, man. So they feel like change would be a lot to them. So therefore, they're comfortable with the way they're in. So they want nothing new to come upon them, man.
But they'll change if the devil tells them to change, because they are of their father, the devil. So the works of your father that you shall do. So you want to stay in darkness. You don't want to. You don't want the light shining upon you. So really, when a person's talking to you as you're trying to correct them, you know, because we go through it. Men and women go through it daily. Women see other women. Women of Israel see other women like, hey, you shouldn't conduct yourself like that. They look at you like you the one, like you the wrong one.
Precept.
But you're going in according to the faith of the Lord.
Isaiah 30 and 8. Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. That this is a rebellious people, man. That the Lord know his creation, that our people are rebellious.
Yeah.
Lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
And that's exactly the response that our people give to us when we try to correct them. Not understanding that we had to be corrected first in order for us to be able to correct our nation, man. So the Lord had already put us through or is putting us through the furnace of adversity, right? Correcting us in the midst of us being corrected, getting the mote out of our eyes, right? Then we go to our brothers and our sisters of Israel to get the beam out of their eyes. Real quick, I got you. Bring that Ezekiel 9 and 4 out real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, come on.
Just an interjection of what you had.
Yeah, go ahead.
What you just said.
Go ahead.
Psalms, you said get the mold out.
Right.
Psalms 2 and 10. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth.
Ooh, come on now. I thought we ain't supposed to judge nobody. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth, ordained not by some theological seminary, but by Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai. So we are ordained to be judges. Not that we're being judgmental or looking down on our people, but we're actually we're putting our people, trying to put our people in a better place. Not frowning upon us, understanding that we was in that point in time, we was in that state of mind at one point in time ourselves. But we're giving thanks to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai for correcting us and showing us what true life really is and trying to spread life to our people. But our people want to dwell in death. That's why the scripture said they shall choose death rather than life. So they're making lies and sin their refuge. You got a point you want to make?
Con, you know, like they say, if you know better, you do better, man. Like scripture also says too, he that humbles himself as this little child shall inherit the kingdom, man.
That's the point.
Hey, Con, a child has to learn, a child has to be taught, a child has to be instructed, man. So therefore, if you can't take that correction, that instruction, man, hey, how can you, hey, for once, hey, well, if you raising a child, hey, you gonna raise them in the way that you've been raised, or the things that you lacked in that way when you was being raised up. That way they can have a better path to walk down, man.
Right, and that's the point that I had in my head that I lost. As a child, let's move it let's turn directions a little bit. Somebody get Sirach chapter 30 real quick. 30 and 1. A child is easy to be taught. All right? A child is easy, like you can break a child down and force something, not necessarily force, but how long does a child stay mad at their parents when they get a whooping?
Not very.
Not very. Next 30 seconds, you back like my daughter. It don't last 5 seconds. I pop her on the hand. I don't even pop her hard. I pop her on the hand. She follows me around the house all day until she knows that I'm not upset with her anymore. See how easy it is to train a child? That's why we need to humble ourselves as little children so we can be trained in the way of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Somebody got that Sirach real quick? 31.
This is a Sirach 30 and 1. He that loveth his son causing him oft to feel the rod.
All right, so now when we come to our people and tell them what they're doing wrong, it's out of love. Because if we didn't tell you, that means we hate you. Because Esau ain't telling you what you're doing wrong. But he's going back to Satan, and Satan's going back to the Lord, being accuser of his brethren. But you'll abide by the law, statutes, and commandments. You'll pay all your court fines. You'll show up to court. You do all that, everything that Esau tell you to do. And let somebody be doing something wrong according to Esau. You're going 65 in a 55. Somebody tell you to slow down. But if you tell somebody that spiritually about what they're doing wrong according to the Lord, they say, who are you to judge? But wait, you just try to correct me about my speed limit, but I'm trying to correct you about your way of life. But our people don't want to understand that. It's out of love. Real quick, keep going on that.
It says that he may have joy of him in the end.
So the Lord's going to have rejoicing us in the end. But 2/3 of our people are not going to be corrected. They're going to stay waddling in sin all the way till they're destroyed. But we can't pick and choose who the 2/3 are. That's why we go to all our people. We go to all nations like we were instructed to do, because we don't know who's nowadays. The Lord he said he can raise up these rocks to worship him. The Lord can pull anything out of anywhere. So we got to go to all nations because our people were scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth. It's up to the Lord to decide, but we just got to put the message out there. But like the elder read, all right, calls the Holy One of Israel to cease from among us. So in that day of judgment, in that day of judgment, a lot of y'all are going to realize that you were falling after the ways of sin all the way to your destruction, and you really hated the Most High, who you so-called claim to love. Keep going.
Verse 2, he that chasteneth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance.
And that's the reason why we have to pass judgment off on our people, so the Lord can rejoice in them. What it say? They rejoice in the heavens for one sinner that turned from repentance. If somebody can find that real quick, get it.
You want to get that first?
No. Hold on.
Verse 3, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Right. So if you don't get correction or not corrected, you remain an enemy. But if you are corrected and start walking in the light of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you grieve the enemy because you become a friend to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which grieves the enemy. You come, whose side are you standing on? You claim you love the Lord with your mouth, but you don't even know who the Lord is. You don't know nothing about the Lord to claim you love the Lord. No, what you love is yourself and the lifestyle you created to those people that don't believe. But the ones that do believe go through persecution every day for righteousness' sake, for trying to tell our people what they're doing wrong. But then you get frowned upon because you're trying to be righteous. But the Lord is setting us up to grieve the enemy, man, because he wants to rejoice in us. That's why we have to be corrected and stand on that correction. Go ahead.
This is Malachi chapter 3, verse 14. Ye have said, it is vain to serve Yahweh, and what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts?
Right. They because they want their cake pie on this side. They want to be rich. Oh, if I serve the Lord, that ain't getting me no money. If I correct myself, that ain't what profit is that to me? It's salvation. People don't understand what correction really does. If you don't want to be corrected like by the Lord, don't correct your children then. Don't be the hypocrite that you want to be. If you want to be stern on your children, but you don't want the Lord to be stern on you, you're being a hypocrite. Because guess what? Sometimes even the supervisor has to be supervised. We have to make sure we're being corrected as parents, as like the elders even said. Sometimes they have to be corrected, but you don't rebuke an elder because they got to the water first. So them being the elders and the fathers, spiritually in this walk that we have, us as being children, because they got to the water first, they have to teach us how to drink. So who are we to pass judgment off them that they can't correct us? You know what I'm saying? So people out here got it twisted because they don't want to be corrected. 2/3 of our people want to still wallow in sin because that's sensual to them, because they're living according to the flesh. They don't even understand who they are as a person because they're so stuck on the character that was created by their experience in this life. Go ahead.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 7, and this is verse 35. This Moses, whom they refused, saying, who made thee a ruler and a judge? The same did Yahweh send to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel which appeared to him in the bush.
Man, there was a scripture that Zaquan did a lesson on, I'll say it was about 3-4 months ago, right? And the scripture said verbatim, I have sent saviors to the earth. Sent saviors to the earth. Are we Yahushua? No, but we're coming in the image of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, in the likeness of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. If you're looking for salvation, go look for the men that got the same spirit that Yahushua had when he came here on the scene. That's how you get salvation. But what it is, y'all can't stand to be corrected by somebody that looks just like you carnally, in the flesh. Because you can't even correct your damn self, so how you going to be corrected by somebody that looks like you? But what you're thinking, you're only thinking carnally, because we don't look the same. We got the same skin tone, same features on the outside, but we are not the same. We have some more? All right, you got one? I got one. All right.
Baruch chapter 1, verse 19. Since the day that the Lord brought our forefathers out of the land of Egypt, unto this present day, we have been disobedient unto the Lord our power, and we have been negligent in not hearing his voice. Wherefore the evils cleave unto us, and the curses, which Yahweh appointed by Moses, his servant, at the time that he brought our fathers out of the land of Egypt, and to give us a land that floweth with milk and honey. That's health and safety.
Con.
And honey, like as it is to see this day. Nevertheless, we have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord our power, according unto all the words of the prophets whom he sent unto us. But every man followed the imagination of his own wicked heart, to serve other gods and to do evil in the sight of the Lord.
And that's basically it in a nutshell right there. We might have to bring that out again, because that's going to lead right into Romans chapter 1 when we get that part of the lesson. Our people don't want to be corrected, man. They don't listen to the voice of the Lord. Right? There was a time when the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the Israelites of the Holy Bible, did listen to the Lord. And when the prophet showed up on the scene, they're like, hey, what the message you got? Is it good or is it bad? What do we need to do? All right. And what would they do? They would humble themselves, put on sackcloth, and bow themselves down and pour ashes on top of their head and go into a state of mourning, being corrected, understanding they've been walking in the unrighteous path and giving thanks to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua before he brought destruction. He gave them a chance to be corrected.
Right.
That's why we have this grace period, man. Yes, Mom.
That's one. Song of Solomon 1 and 5. I am black, but calmly, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. And black meaning, basically destroyed or impoverished. Right. But he said, I am beautiful, I am calmly.
Right.
The daughters meaning the other Jakes in Israel.
But
they look at us like we just impoverished, like we're nobody.
Right. And that's why they don't want correction from us, because we feel like that we're nobody.
Right.
But the beauty that we have is within, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Can you go? No, it was. Can you go? His lips are the right in the Song of Solomon. That's why the virgins.
Let him kiss me.
Yeah.
There you go. Song of Solomon 1 and 2. Let him kiss me with the kiss of his mouth. That means anoint us. For thy love is better than wine. Because of the savor of thy good ointments, and this truth is as a savor of good ointment on it. Thy name is as an ointment poured forth. So Yahushua's name is an anointing too. Therefore do the virgins love thee.
And those virgins are the same virgins that's spoken of in Revelation chapter 14. In their mouth was found no God, because they were kissed with the lips of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. He said, kiss the Son lest he be angry, and you perish out of the way. So as the anointed ones were kissed, they try to spread that anointing throughout the rest of Israel. And if you turn away from that holy kiss that's been trying to be placed upon you, then you turn away from the mercy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Turn y'all.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, and verse 4. O Israel, happy are we, for the things that are pleasing to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are made known unto us. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. You were sold to the nations not for your destruction, but because ye moved Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
Man, basically the Lord's like, man, I'm finna go kick they behind. Before I kick they behind, listen, down there, I'm gonna send y'all prophets down there. Give them my message from me. Those that turn away from sin, we're gonna put them on this side. Those that try to settle for carnality and stay in darkness, we're gonna put him on this side to be destroyed, man. But he's gonna gather the wheat into his barn and leave the tares out to be destroyed, man, and burnt up.
Right.
All right, Con.
That's like when Yahushua said he came to teach and not be taught too.
Con.
So he put us in that same spirit once we become new creatures and we get the mold out of our own eyes. 1 Corinthians 2 and 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit, for they are foolishness unto him.
Con.
Neither can he know them, women too, because they are spiritually discerned.
Con.
But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man.
Judged of no man,
the
bro.
Lord set us up to judge, but ultimately the elect are going to be judged by Yahushua himself in the kingdom. So we're not judged of men, but we're here to judge men and women. According to the scriptures.
According to the scriptures.
All right, and Yahweh is going to give the judgment. Even Yahweh gave judgment to Yahushua. Just like Yahushua gave us power to be judges. All right, but now it says, but he that is spiritual, so you're going to judge things spiritually. All right, we ain't walking around with a gavel in the execution chamber with us, but we walking around giving our testimony. All right, and judging spiritually, and rebuking spiritually, and condemning spiritually. Verse 16, for who have known the mind of the Lord that he may instruct him, but we have the mind of Yahushua, so we have the instructions. So we're the only ones that can give the instructions. So they can't give instructions to us. This world right here, the world that we're in now, they can't give instructions to us because the wisdom of this world is foolishness.
If somebody get Psalms 51 and 11 to back that up. Yeah, no, 51 and 10.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 51 and verse 10.
Go all the way to 14.
Create in me a clean heart, O Yahweh, and renew a right spirit within me.
Come on, man. What spirit is that? That's the mind of Yahushua. That's that clean heart. That's exactly what we needed, right? Keep going. Let King David break it down. I'm going to shut up.
Verse 11. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Then will I teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee.
Boom, that's it right there. So we had to go through it first, through the correction first, in order to be able to correct our nation, man. And it's all about the correction of our nation. And you have these hypocritical people that when you try to correct them, they look at you as if you're nothing. And then when you watch the news and see some messed up situation that Jake is in, you want to frown upon them. What you are right there in that, they're right there in that same category. Just because you might not be right here robbing, stealing, and killing, but you're still doing things that are not acceptable to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So you can't categorize as sin. At least I'm not doing that, but you're still doing this over here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So they try to categorize it. Well, I'm not doing that bad. Not according to the Lord. You're doing just as bad as that other person. You're just as lost. You know?
I got one.
Okay. You still got Ezekiel? I'll bring it up. You got this up. Okay. You got it?
It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 8. And it says, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of the light. And I just brought it out to say, we were once in darkness, so we understand it. How the bishop was saying, the Lord had to bring us through that period of correction, bringing us out of darkness unto his light. So therefore we can, because we were once in darkness, now we understand what true light is, and we're able to shine that unto our people in order to try to lead them unto the light.
And that's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what we're trying to do. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
2 Timothy 2 and 8 to 24. And the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle. So we ain't sent here to beat people up and fight.
Right.
All right, that's the Sakari doctrine in ISUPK.
I was about to say.
But be gentle in ISUPK, IUIC.
Yeah.
They putting people in full Nelson.
Full Nelson, half
Nelson,
Nelson.
full Nelson. Yeah.
One dude got his arm broke.
Yeah.
Still went to jail. Go ahead.
It says, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, and patient. See, a lot of brothers are apt to teach. You want to keep teaching people. And sometimes that's why the Lord said, don't cast your pearls before swine, because they'll turn and rent you, attack you. In meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves. All right, so we're seeing our people opposing themselves. We got eyes to see it.
Yeah.
All right, so they basically destroying themselves and setting themselves up for the judgment, for judgment day.
Right. Got our people out here talking about opt this, opt that. You don't know you are opt to the Lord.
Right. Right. By striving against Yahweh, they're basically destroying themselves. That's why the Lord told Paul that. Can't you see it's hard to kick against the pricks? You're gonna hurt yourself.
Don't hurt your damn self, man.
It says, yep, my bad. No, you got and meekness instructing those. See, the instruction that we got from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we instruct our people. All right? If they receive it. And meekness instructing those that oppose themselves, if Yahweh per adventure, meaning they gotta be predestined, will give them repentance to the acknowledging of the truth. And that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive at his will. And that's on a daily basis. They're taken captive at the devil, the serpent's will, man. And our job is to free the captives.
Right. And that's what we come to do, try to free our people from the bondage of sin. You know? Are we Yahushua? No, but he sent us out here to do a job in his name and in his Father's name.
You got the keys.
Yeah. Somebody else called for one. Yeah, go ahead. And then Bar, you had one?
Con.
And then gotcha.
I got 3 verses.
All right.
This is the book of Isaiah 5:1.
Oh, there we go. That's cool.
Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My well-beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill. And he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof and planted it with the choicest vine.
And that choice vine that he was planting with, hold that right there. Somebody get Jeremiah 2:21 real quick.
This is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21. Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?
Right. So how you done changed? The Lord planted us as a noble vine, like He's explaining in Isaiah chapter 5, touching His vineyard. He fenced it. He put hedges around it. He put a tower in the midst of it. He did everything for it. But how did you become a stranger and to be of a degenerate vine unto Him? Go ahead.
And built the tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein. And he looked
and that winepress is judgment. So we're trying to keep you away from that. That's why we explain the things that we explain, because we're trying to keep ourselves away from that. And whoever the Lord has predestined to save, we don't know who they are. So we got to go to everybody that we can go to. Go ahead.
And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard.
And that's what we're out here to do. Judge between the Most High and His vineyard. Because if you want Him to just without casting off warning or without sending the judges on the earth, if you want Him to, because everybody's supposed to be off the dead, gone right now. But the Lord made a way for His people to survive, because we're all the wages of sin is death, man, and we all have fell short of the mark. Luckily that He gave Yahushua as a redeemer, as a mediator, bring us back to Yahweh, because He had totally divorced us. But now that a new marriage ceremony is being made through Yahushua, we're out here rejoicing because we have a way of repentance and we have a way out of this hellhole that we in.
Right. Yep. And that puts you in the defense.
Huh.
If He say judge betwixt him and his vineyard, we're gonna judge the vineyard and say they're the liars.
Yeah.
That's Romans 3:3.
Huh.
And let every man be a liar and let Yahweh shall be true. And that puts you as a mediator, and you begin to defend the doctrine. He's saying choose what side you're gonna defend. Right? Point to the world, say they're wicked.
Yeah.
Point to Yahweh, he's righteous.
And you point to the world and say they wicked. Well, who are you to judge them? I'm nobody. He said it. He said it. He told me to tell you that.
That's Jeremiah 1:5. He said, don't say that we're too young.
Come
Or we're not ready. We're supposed to go tell the world whatever the Lord told us to tell them.
on. Whether they hear or forbear, it's on them.
I got
No, we got to interject.
Okay.
this Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 18. Come now and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. But if ye refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of the Lord have spoken it.
So how long do our nation got to get devoured on this earth till we get it together and be like, you know what? Like, if you keep trying to do the same thing over and over and over again, and you're looking for a different result, you the crazy one. The Lord is showing us what we have to do to rise up as a nation, right? But He ain't gonna leave it in our hands. He's putting the Spirit in the righteous judges to be risen up and judge our nation and gather in the elect according to the Spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Gabar.
Gone. It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 9. The point is in 10. It says, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of Him who have called you out of darkness into His marvelous light, which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of Yahweh, which had not attained mercy, but now have obtained mercy.
And that's the only way for us to obtain mercy. It's through Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. This world is not going to be merciful unto us. You know?
And how the bishop was saying, everybody on this earth should be dead, done away with. But turning back into the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, obtaining this truth, we have obtained mercy, man. And mercy is what you want in these days to come, the days of Jacob trouble, when all hell is breaking loose out here. And ultimately that day of evil, when America is destroyed by those 200 million nuclear warheads, man. You want to obtain mercy in that day because it's going to be dark and terrible out here.
Come on. All right.
This is Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. They and their fathers that transgressed against me, even to this very day. For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say to them, thus saith the Lord God. And whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, they shall know that there have been a prophet among them.
Right, and they're going to know when those prophecies start kicking off real heavy. And everything that the prophets have spoken of in the beginning that was trying to get you to turn your heart towards, you're going to realize in that day, that's when you're going to realize you're done effed up. You know, you're going to realize you effed up in that day, Barak.
And it says, he said unto me, Son of man, I sent thee. The Lord sent us to the lost sheep of Israel. We didn't just be like, oh, I'm going to go snap on somebody today. Right. No, the Lord gave us a job to do, and we out here doing it, whether you hear it or not.
Barak.
In the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2, do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? And if then ye have judgments of the things pertaining to this life, set them to judge who are least esteemed in the church.
That's basically what we set out to do, man.
This is establishing the church in this life.
Right.
The Lord set the meek, as he said, the higher somebody is, the more meek they should be, the more humble they should be, more lowly. So he said, set the lowly up, the meek. Now this is Matthew. Let me get one real quick. He said we're gonna judge angels. I just had it.
So that cuts everybody that says, "Oh, only the Lord, or only God can judge me," or "Who are you to judge me?" I'm doing my best to be a man or a Lord. You have to judge things according to the scriptures, and even people without without spiritual understanding, humans in general judge things just off of whatever they have. You might judge something in terms of jumping over something, or in terms of speed, driving in your car. We all judge, but we have to judge according to the correct ruler, and to the correct measurements of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
One second. Matthew 19 and 28. And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. As us judging the angels.
And that tabernacle is being set up right now.
Right.
He's setting up the house of David, who is going to be the governing body of Israel under Yahushua and King David, man. It starts right now. We're learning to be judges and kings on this earth, and gods on this earth right now. Go ahead, Mazan.
All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, and I'm going to start at verse 8. Open thy mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction.
Damn.
Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy.
So that's a commandment. That's a commandment of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. So really, in actuality, instead of saying, who are you to judge me? You should really be saying, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for sending the prophets my way and correcting me in my sins and transgressions and bring me right back to you. But the problem is 2/3 of our people hate the Lord. They despise the Lord, man. And they're going to find out in that day. Okay.
This is the book of Jeremiah 3 and 25. We lay down in our shame, and our confusion covered us. For we have sinned against the Lord, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushai, we and our father, from our young even unto this day. and have not obeyed the voice of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai.
And that's what the elect are saying. In the moment that they entered into the fold, and the Lord revealed Himself to them. That's what the elect are saying, right? Read that again.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 3:25. We lay down in our shame, and our confusion cover us. For we have sinned against the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, we and our father, from our young even unto this day.
Right. So now check this out. That's what the elect are saying. But when you come to 2/3 of our nation, especially these whack attacking Christians, these churchgoers, right? When you try to tell them about their transgressions, right? What did they say? When He hates the sin, not the sinner?
Yeah.
Or He said God is all love.
He just loves love.
Lord, know my heart.
You know, yeah, He does.
It's
It
all
is
about
desperately
what's in
wicked.
your heart.
Yeah. So these are the things they say when you try to correct them. They'll do anything to stand 10 toes down on their wickedness. Yeah, I try to sugarcoat it. Right? On their wickedness. I'm sorry. On their wickedness. You got one? Go ahead. Okay.
This to back up the brother Canuck about them standing 10 toes on their wickedness. It's the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse 13. It says he professes to have known, it's like he professes to have the knowledge of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and he called himself the child of the Lord.
And that's how they think in their mind. When you try to correct them, who is you? You always be talking why you be so talking so aggressive about the Bible? It's not aggressive, it's just offensive to you because you're wicked. Go ahead.
And also passionate as well.
Right, passionate.
A lot of it is passionate.
And a lot of it is the earth trying to feminize the so-called black man.
Yeah.
Especially the men of the Lord. They trying to make anytime you talk sternly, right? They're like, why you have to be so aggressive? Because I'm a man. They said Yahweh Shai would say he was an austere man. Who is this that came to talking with such authority? At the age of 12 years old, he was talking with authority. Like, come on, man. They try to make the men of our nation so feminine, right? That if they what is this called? Toxic masculinity.
Damn near a crime.
Right, yeah. It's called new term is toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
So if you show any form of signs of being a austere or a stern man, right, you're frowned upon in this society. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 14. It says he was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that Yahweh is his father. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him.
Right. You can speak on it.
Hey, Con, just to back up the brother, man, that's how they be, man. Oh yeah, if he really a man of the Lord, let's sit here. Hey, that's why the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai made our foreheads hard against their foreheads. Why? Because they feel like the place that they're in, they feel like they can't be moved. They feel like they're in the right place. They're going down the right path, man. So they'll sit there in that lane and try to, they'll go kamikaze style just to try to prove a point that they're right, which they in all, they're going to be wrong, man. Like Scripture says, there's a way that seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Sums it all up.
There was a dude. He was saying, he was talking to this woman. He was like, this is this, that, and that. That's that, and that is this. And she was like, well, I feel, and not only women, but a lot of men. But going back to why the feminizing men, a lot of people speak off of their emotions. They don't say this is this, that is that. They don't speak the truth. They try to go off their own lies, or they call it, you speak your own truth, but really they just go off their own emotions. That's all it is. Causing
a man to be extra emotional to fit into any kind of conversation that he's trying to have. Now instead of you giving it to something directly cut and dry, now you're playing around with people's feelings. Yeah. Shit. Like, no, we ain't got time for all that. We're trying to get up out of here, man.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
We're trying to get up out of here. Got some back interjection?
All
right, go ahead. Interjection.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. I'm gonna go to verse 19. It says, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. You know, hey, just like the brother said, we don't got time for that, man. We try to get straight to the point, man. You know, hey, we trying to obtain salvation. So therefore, you want to sit here and test the patience of the servant of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Let's really see if he's going to sit here and be meek. Let's see if he's really going to deal with us. Let's see if he's going to do us like he do to other people that he's with, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Just like the bishop said earlier, man, hey, this is true love, all right? We get out here and tell you these things. Why? Because we love you, man. Freely receive, freely give, all right? So therefore, we tell you these things to warn you, all right? That way you can prepare before they get here. But yet, you take it lightly, man.
Now we do understand that we can't talk to everybody the same way. People got different personalities, right? Yeah. I'll give a testimony about me, how I came in, right? So when the elder approached me with the truth, it wasn't kind of directly. It was another guy in the midst that he was reaching out to, right? That he knew before he knew me. And I was like, hey man, what is this you're talking about? And the elder was like, you know what? A lot of people think I'm crazy for telling them this. And I said, man, I've been sitting in the dark all day trying to figure this shit out. And I don't know what my right from my left. I said, try me. He came in my house at 9 o'clock that night. He left 6 o'clock the next morning. Gave me damn near everything I needed at that point. So we understand how to deal with certain individuals. That's why we're not trying to get to know people to get to know them and be personal with them. We're trying to get to know how we can know their illnesses so we know how to treat their sickness. So it's not like we just come in here and just start bashing scriptures in people's head. No, there's a science behind this. There's a way that we do this. This is a warfare. You don't just go into war just running out with no protection. No, we don't do that, man. First of all, we got to be mindful who we speak to because you can't cast our pearls before swine.
Yeah, we had an incident last week to where we ran into a similar situation to where I was describing the example of how, like what the brother's speaking about, the bishop speaking about, how you got to know your personnel. You got to kind of know your people. You got to be able to know and understand spirits and certain spirits and what certain spirits can deal with and handle and what certain spirits can't. So you got to deal with our people accordingly. Right. You know, you might go harsh or be firm with a certain individual, but you can't be as firm and as harsh with the next individual.
Right. But still maintaining your integrity at that. But it's not like we're not going to get to the point where we're going to trim our ways and seek love. Yeah. You know, we're not going to beat around the bush, but we're going to find the quickest path to get there directly. I was about to say without being offensive, but I really don't care about being offensive because this word could be offensive, but you guys get my point.
You don't want to be derogatory or acting like you own the person.
Right. That's right.
You don't want to be getting to beat the men servants.
Right. Exactly.
That word beat doesn't mean physically beat them up only. That means to hurt their feelings. Sitting there just talking wicked to them, man. Like they ain't shit.
Perfect example is IUIC. Anybody that walk up to them and that has a hat on, they immediately start speaking scripture to them, trying to make them take the hat off.
Yeah, and the tyrants, man. That was the so-called truth, like La'ah War.
Yeah.
Down in Mississippi.
Yeah.
People like that become tyrants, acting like they're already on the chariot.
Yeah.
Acting like they own everything. They own the person.
Like they own your spirit. Like they can talk to you any kind of way and be offensive, and they're not even talking; they're dictating.
Like they got your ticket to the kingdom in their pocket.
Right. You got to come get it from them.
Yeah, they can keep
That's a predatory mindset. They supposed to be trying to heal people from their ailments. They look at, they brother sick, let's get them. That's what a shark in the water does. It goes, it devours like sick fish and stuff. We're supposed to heal our people. They devouring them instead of helping them like get rid of their flaws. They pointing it out and shaming them about it.
Right.
And shaming for control.
And the crazy part about it is being men of the Lord, we know the vulnerability spiritually in our people. Because we were at that vulnerable state at one point in time, even though our people, 2/3 of our people don't even see their vulnerability. They think they're strong as tough as nails.
But still vulnerable.
They're still spiritually vulnerable because guess what? They got the devil just tossing them back and forth, and they don't even know they're being tossed around like a rag doll. But we can see it. We can see the things that they can. Y'all all. That's why we judge our people according to the scriptures. Go ahead.
Now, the reason I bring this scripture is backing off, Bishop Kanak. This is from Apostle Paul, and this is Philippians 2:12 and 13. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, for it is Yahweh which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure.
And you know what's so funny? Like, you notice the terminology and the words that are used in the scriptures, we would not be able to use that today talking to our people. Imagine we using the word obey in a sentence talking to our people. Imagine using that word.
Oh, you can't do that.
But Paul was direct though. Paul was like, no, not only obey in my presence, nobody got their feelings hurt because he said that. Not only obey in my presence, but also in my absence. But that's the point. That's another key point that I want to get to on this lesson. The reason why we have judges on the earth right now is because y'all forgot about the Lord. They forgot about the Lord, man. So the Lord has to put y'all in remembrance, either through the furnace of affliction into salvation or through the missiles. One or two ways you're gonna remember who he is. He gonna call you to recollection who he is. One or two ways, through salvation or destruction. But everybody's gonna remember who the Lord was. Remember the Holy One that brought us out of Egypt, and probably can bring us out of the second Egypt. We got some more pieces when we get to the lesson.
1 Peter 5:1. The elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder. This is Paul speaking, Peter, calling himself an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Yahushua, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. That's being revealed now. Feed the flock of Yahweh which is among you. See, that's what we're saying here to do. He told Peter that. He said, if you love me, feed my sheep. All right? But this is the point right here. It takes initiative to do this and responsibility. Feed the flock of Yahweh which is among you, taking the oversight thereof. See, not going to our people looking for answers, but carrying the answers to our people, the instruction. Not going to the world to be instructed, being in the world, but not of the world. Being sent to change the world, not to be changed by the world. All right? Taking the oversight thereof, man. So you got to have eyes to see it. You got to know what side you're on. You got to know that you got the answers. Not by constraint, so you don't want to be forced to do the work, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind, man. Neither as being lords over Yahweh's heritage. See, we're not lords over it, but we're supposed to be what? But being examples to the flock. So first, we're supposed to be setting ourselves as an example, getting the mote out of our own eye, then we're able to instruct others. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves under the elder. When you come into the truth, the one that gets into the understanding after you, they're supposed to listen to the one that got to the water first. That's something. All right. And if they're in the world, it will behoove them to listen to a man of the Lord. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, meaning listen to each other. And be clothed with humility, man. All right, not with pride. For Yahweh resisteth the proud, man. So they're gonna try to go to the Lord, and the Lord gonna resist them if they don't listen. And give grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that ye may be exalted in due time, man. So the men that are in this truth, they represent the mighty hand of Yahweh, the covering of the Lord. The Lord said in the last days He's gonna raise up a man to be as gold, as a shadow in a weary place, in a weary land, and that shadow represents the Lord's hand, man.
That's beautiful, because and 2/3 of our people don't understand how spiritually discouraging they could be at times. Because guess what? When you're trying to correct them and teach them the way of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because they don't have any knowledge of that, what's the first thing they try to do? They try to attack your character or who you are as a person, right? They try to insult you because they feel insulted because they're not. We didn't cause offense to them. The Lord did, because the Lord is correcting them, telling them what they need to hear, but they refuse to hear it. But at the end of the day, the men of the Lord have to realize and understand, like, I guess that's your journey, that's your path, but the Lord promised me a reward for doing His job, so I'll take that blow. I'll take that lick upside the head that you tried to give me, what I'm saying, spiritually, that didn't have none effect, because I'm doing what the Lord told me to do, and He said He'll give me a reward in return for that. Go ahead.
It's the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 20. Now then we are ambassadors for Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, as though Yahweh did beseech you by us, we pray you in Yahweh's stead, be ye reconciled to Yahweh.
And that's what we're trying to do, is the reconciliation to Yahweh, to the children, to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. That's it.
All right, being ambassadors, man. We represent that holy council that the Lord, the heavenly council. Like last week, the heavenly Sanhedrin, the gathering of judges. We represent that right now on this earth, man. He said the kingdom of heaven is within you. Right?
Point. And just to further that point too, it says, we pray you in Yahweh's stead, because he's not on the earth right now. So how the brother's been saying, he set up men to stand in his stead and be ambassadors, messengers, pushing that same vibration that he was.
Thank you, man. Read verse 10.
And verse 10 of 2 Corinthians chapter 5, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of Yahushua, that every one may receive the things done in his body according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad.
Right. So we all got to stand for the judgment seat of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Some are going to be rewarded with the crown, and some are just going to be destroyed. So for the things that be done in your body. So what does the scripture say? Blessed is the servant that his master finds so doing so when he shows up. So blessed are the ones that are doing it, regardless of whether they hear or forbear, regardless of if they try to insult you, regardless of what they say, because really they're not insulting you, they're insulting your power. And you know what? Ain't no lick that we can throw compared to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. So in insulting him, well, yeah, we get upset, we get mad, but what can we do? Nothing. But continuing in the faith as we're supposed to, and let the Lord deal with them, man. The Lord gonna deal with them. Are you need some more precepts?
I got one.
Okay. I recall. No, I'll write y'all of them first.
This is Jeremiah 35 and 15. I have sent also unto you all my servants, the prophets, raising up early and sending them, saying, return ye now, every man from his evil way, and amid your doings, and go not after other gods to serve them.
Yeah, early means before the destruction. Every time before the Lord brings his judgment, he rises up early and then sends his prophets out.
It says, return ye now every man from his evil way, and amend your doings, and go not after other gods to serve them, and ye shall dwell in the land which I have given to you and to your fathers. But ye have not inclined your ears, nor hearkened unto me. I just wanted to bring that out, just to basically say this is our job. We're supposed to be out here bring you back to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua so you can repent, man, so you can be one of the, be a part of the promises, basically.
We like the asshole at the job that nobody like because they so serious about doing their job. That individual, that's how we are in the truth. We're gonna be that asshole that's real serious about our job. Why? Because we want to better our people, man. It's not even the funny part about it is it's not for self-gain. Right. It's not for self-gain at all. And that's what people look at you as if, you like we're puffing up. No, we're frustrated, we're tired, we're ready to get up out of here. We hate to see the state of the minds of our people. We hate to raise our children up in this foolishness. But guess what? We're also rejoicing to be able to raise our children up in this foolishness because guess what? It shows the power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. So we're understanding the balance between being in this wicked place as being righteous men and women. You know?
This is Jeremiah 44 and 4. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising early, sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearken not, nor incline the ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn incense unto other gods. And I bring it out just Yahweh Shai, he's sending his men out here to warn the people, and they refuse to listen. They walk by and they scoff, they complain, they say y'all this or y'all that, or y'all being racist or whatever it is. But we doing the will of the Lord. We repeating the words of Yahweh Shai. This is his words, and we doing what he commanded us to do.
In the spirit, though. Not in the flesh, in the spirit. You got some people that watch videos and read a book and feel like they got it all and go out here dictating people. You know, it's an art to being a teacher, man. You have to have a certain level of compassion in the spirit. Go ahead.
Guys, hey, the 2 Chronicles chapter 36. Speaking on Zedekiah, when the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai sent Jeremiah, all right, but Zedekiah didn't listen to Jeremiah, man. So therefore, he didn't listen to the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, all right. This is 2 Chronicles chapter 36, starting at verse 14. It says, moreover, all the chief of the priests and the people transgressed very much after all the abominations of the heathen, and polluted the house of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which he had hallowed in Jerusalem. And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, God of their fathers, sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place.
And check this out now. So you have 2/3 of our people that are trying to once again pollute the house of the Lord, but this time the Lord is not going to allow them to be polluted. He said he's going to purge from among these the rebels that choose to transgress his law, statutes, commandment, and not listen to his word. All right, so they're being purged from among the righteous, and there's not going to be no pollution of this temple, the third temple that's being built spiritually. Go ahead.
Verse 16, it says, but they mock the messengers of the Most High.
It's just like how they do today. Oh, they mock the shit out of us today. But boy, things that make you laugh gonna make you cry, boy.
It says, and despise his words and misuse his prophets until the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai arose against his people till there was no remedy. Therefore, he brought upon them the king of the Chaldees, who slew their young men with the sword in the house of the sanctuary, in the house of their sanctuary, and had no compassion upon young man or maiden or old man or him that stooped for age. He gave them all into his hand.
Right. So is the king of the Chaldees having any mercy or compassion on our people today? No. Not at all. Not at all. This king of the Chaldees is worse than the king of the Chaldees back in them days. But this one right here ain't gonna show no mercy, bro. It don't matter. He gonna hold on to that pride all the way to the end, all the way to his destruction. Because one thing about the king of the Chaldees, Esau, man, you know, everybody goes through something, right? But whenever they go through something, it's like they have this facade as if it shouldn't happen to them. So the pressure that they feel, they're gonna apply on our people, man. Continual strokes, and they ain't gonna let up. They gonna, matter of fact, the Lord gonna really make them show his horns. This devil finna get worse. Extremely worse.
That one video of the Edomite getting arrested at the airport. You're treating me like a black person.
Right.
He feel like it wasn't supposed to happen to him.
Right. Man, who said that? Who was it? Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle.
It was Dave Chappelle. Chris Rock was saying talking about how
when they're poor.
Well, you talking about the poor man wouldn't even trade them places to be a rich black man. But it was one of them that said, as like basically kind of what in a nutshell what I was saying, that they have this pompous arrogance about them, as if that, you know, calamities that happen in the earth and impoverished situations shouldn't happen to them. Like they're excluded from any type of. That's why the scripture say hell from beneath is waiting to meet thee at their coming. So that's why America has that same facade, as if, oh, all this shit that they do to these other countries and these other nations, that it shouldn't come back on them. But the Lord said, hell from beneath is meet you at their coming. It raises up the kings of the earth. It raises the dead from the earth, these kings of the nations, man. And you're witnessing them rise up against the United States right now. So that mindset is not only America's mindset, but it's a mindset of Esau, man. That they can do whatever they want to other people, but it shouldn't come back on them. Go ahead.
And I did a lesson on it like last week, but I watched the video on the bombings in Vietnam. I think it was World War II or World War I.
Vietnam War.
Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And then on the documentary, it was talking about how America dropped 75 million tons of bombs on Vietnam, man. And that's just a number in weight. But in actuality, it was probably much more bombs than that. And still bombs going off to this day, like injuring kids and civilians.
Oh yeah, it's a bunch of landmines and stuff that they left out there. There's still like people still getting blown up and stuff from.
Yeah. But my point was, my bad. When I seen that, it was crazy because America think that they could do that, and that same thing wouldn't befall this place, man, in their kingdom. What time?
I was gonna say, just to back up the brother Gabar about all those bombs being dropped. A lot of those bombs were cluster bombs, and if you know anything about military arms, cluster bombs duds. They hit and they don't explode. But then when you have a farmer or a little baby or a woman or whatever out gardening or whatever, and they hit it or trigger it, it explodes and it messes them up. They lose their sight, they arms, limbs get blowed off, like they die and things like that. And that's all of the doing of Esau.
God.
You know, his wickedness in the earth.
God. All right.
Some more precepts.
Well,
This is Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 6. O house of Israel, cannot I do with you as this potter saith the Lord? Behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are ye in mine hand, O house of Israel. At what instant I shall speak concerning a nation and concerning a kingdom to pluck up and to pull down and to destroy it. So that's the power that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has, not only over Israel, but over the entire fabric of the universe. And when we always need to keep that in the forefront of our mind. Always need to keep that fear of Yahweh in the forefront of our mind. That's what people lack. They fear men more than they fear the Lord.
Like the elder just said in his recent lesson, they fear the devil more than they fear the Most High, and the Most High is controlling the devil. You know. We're just creatures formed by the Lord, and we're still being formed by the Lord as we're here. We're being formed as a nation. We're already formed as individuals, but we're being formed as a nation. Esau is still being formed as a nation. Right now he's lifted up, but pretty sure he's going to be formed into the creature, and everyone's going to see him for the true creature that he is. Right. Everyone's going to see Israel for the true creature that they are. Prime example of the formation, us being formed as a nation, and look at the mindset of our people. Our people want to cleave onto something. Our people want to come together, but it can't because they got all these different. Can two walk together unless they be agreed? Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about it. All right, when the first movie Black Panther came out, right? Everybody was Wakanda forever. I told everybody get out my face with all that. Joshua Allah forever. Anybody know what that was? You explain it to them. They act like Black Panther exists more than Yahushua. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, they talk about. I said, well, why do you cleave? I was asking a radio personality, a big name radio personality, and I asked them. I said, what is your purpose on cleaving onto this movie Black Panther? It's a black movie about us having a black superhero. I said, you can read the scriptures for that. That went over his head a little bit, right? But then I said, you got another movie coming out the same day that I see none of y'all giving parties for or rallying for, and it really is black produced, black directed, black executive produced. Everything was done by this certain individual who happened to be a so-called black man. But ain't nobody trying to rush to see that and support that. But all the money that was being made for Black Panther still go to Esau. Mm-hmm. And the movie I'm talking about was the story about Nat Turner, Birth of a Nation. Mm-hmm. And that Nat Turner spirit was like, even though he did it wrong, but he had the spirit of rebelling against his system. And he used the scriptures, but he had his vision was just cloudy because it wasn't our time to rise up like that. But that was a staple point of a precursor of what was going to manifest into the real birth of a nation through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua.
Right. That's why they're trying to make a decrease in the male masculinity in the society. Because they know that men build militias, men build armies, men rise up, and they know if there's a lot of men out here, they got a chance of us rising up against them. So they want to decrease the masculinity.
Hey, that's kind of like a test run, just like how both of y'all were just speaking on with Black Panther. You know, you had Chadwick Boseman at first, then he died. Then they had his sister in there. Which it don't give that militant spirit as to our people. Mm-hmm. But also too, what I want to add on too, man. Hey, just like Scripture says, ye faithless generation, ye generation of vipers, man. They want to seek out the sign, something that's physically there, all right, which shows that they have no faith, man. The faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So therefore, they have this image, they have this person to sit here and represent the nation of Wakanda because of what the nation of Israel. So hey, therefore they feel like they have something to cleave into, man. Just like the brother Canuck said, hey, you got that in scriptures, but yet they don't want to go to that. Why? Because they don't have the mindset for that, man. They have to see it and to believe it, man.
That's funny. Like everything, all the curses that the Most High explained in Deuteronomy and throughout the scriptures have fallen upon our people. You can visibly see it, man. That's why. Yeah, I got you. That's why. When you tell the people like, yo, the real superheroes are Yahushua in the scriptures, right? They can't identify it because they don't want to really identify with anything that relates to themselves because it's all self-hate, and you can clearly see that's us in these scriptures. Whether you want to deny it as much as you can, even the ones that are in denial can clearly see it, but they want to separate themselves from that. Because guess what? Because of the state that we're in right now, and they looking to see the state that Esau's in.
Right, and Wakanda's in Israel. Off the heart of the lesson.
This is Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Just basically backing up Canuck and Arakah and the elder, and how Esau tried to change the natural effect of things, try to make everything feminine, switching the roles of everything. It's another movie that's kind of like a spinoff to Wakanda. The name is Woman King. That's the whole thing right now with Barbie, all that extra stuff. You know, they're trying to make women the next top dog over the man.
They should have named Woman King on testosterone.
Yeah. All
yeah, bro. And you could tell the whole movie. I ain't see it, but I could tell she was on that militant. Want to be like a man, trying to make everything, you know, and feminine, masculine, all types of stuff.
If you watch the movie, right, it was a female tribe and there was a male tribe. And the male tribe, which they were against, she was assaulted as a young child by this male tribe. So these had this vindictive thing against men, right? And it was really masculinizing the women and feminizing the men in that movie, right? And the thing about it is the Barbie movie, flip side, right? Nobody protested against the Woman King movie, right? Check this out. This devil's so wicked.
Yeah, Barbie movie worse.
Well, huh?
Dangerous territory.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Talking about the Barbie movie?
I was saying keep the red flags up.
Oh, kind. All right, so.
Watch the buoys.
Oh yeah. No, I ain't going that route. No. So the thing about it was they had a protest against the Barbie movie, right? Because they explicitly said, this is Esau talking. They didn't like how it made the men look in the movie. They didn't like how. Now the difference is they didn't care how they made the men look in the Woman King because it was supposedly us, but how it made Ken look in the Barbie movie allegedly, right? They were in disagreements with that, and they literally protest that movie. And it was more Jake's going to watch that movie than it was Esau.
There was a trend. It was either here in America or China. They were telling women, like, take your boyfriend to go see, or take your man to go see the Barbie movie with you, and if you don't wear pink, break up with him.
I mean, that's dumb.
Yeah, right. I was like,
that's dumb.
That's weird.
Cause I wear pink, like, you know what I'm saying? But I see the angle that they trying to go.
Yeah.
But they didn't like how Barbie had full control over Ken like that.
Yeah.
But they don't mind it. But they like that's meant for our household. The woman supposed to rule the man in our household.
But that's true in Esau household.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Esau
how
really
he
was
ran.
like that.
Happy wife, happy life.
Adam 22.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Oh yeah. I don't even like that.
That was the definition of romance. It comes from romance. Being a gentleman. The Lord never told us to be gentlemen. He told us to be gentle to all men when we teach them. He never told us to be gentlemen walking over with a bouquet of roses for women.
Right.
Look at the way they portray like marriage in society. When you offer marriage unto a woman, they want you to bow down to her and ask her, as in giving her the power pretty much.
Instead of just snatching her by her hair and dragging her to the cave.
What did he say? Wasn't me, what? Oh, I was just about to ask you.
If I may, just to back up the brother Zaria about the marriage thing. That is symbolism of a man giving his power unto the one that is lesser, according to the scriptures. It's a balance. The Most High got it set up a certain way. The man's supposed to be up. He's supposed to be erect. He's supposed to be straightforward. He's not supposed to be submitting himself unto anything outside of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua.
Right.
Because Yahushua is our head.
Right.
And who is Yahushua's head? Yahweh, the Heavenly Father. So it is in order. But, you know, you have Esau with everything flipped reverse. You know, everything here in Babylon, America is contrary to what is right. It is all reverse. If you look at other societies, it has a way that it goes. You come to America, it goes totally opposite of that. And it's set up that way. It's called an agenda.
Yeah. And if you think about it, is if the head submits to the body, what is it going to focus on? It has to look down. And the elder, he had brought it out one long time ago. If you're submitting to a woman or you're falling behind a woman, you're being led back to the earth, back to the ground. That's going to lead you to death. But if you follow your head, Yahweh Shai, who's in the heavens, right? If the woman is really a part of you, a part of the body, she's going to follow. The body has to go where the head's going. So if the head is focused on the body, the head can't see what's going on in front of him. So the head can't direct anywhere. So if you're looking to be led by your body, you're going to be led according to the flesh. There's nothing spiritual about that. It's not saying, and the people don't understand order, man.
Hey, Slaki, I just heard, I think it was 2 days ago, they want to remove that law. No divorce. Not, you know, when the woman claims she can get a divorce, but she has to give a reason why.
Right.
They want to remove that because too many women are, you know.
Yeah, they said what is the 80%? 80% of divorce are initiated by women.
Yep.
And 90% of them come from women that establish themselves and then get divorced.
That's right.
Damn.
Allegedly. I mean,
that's just the
allegedly.
Yeah,
I was gonna
is.
say that, man. I was gonna say that.
Yeah. Allegedly. All right. In Princess, I want to get to the lesson real quick. And somebody can get Jeremiah 2:21 again, and then go straight into Judges chapter 2, verse 1. No, yeah, 2:11. Jeremiah 2:11.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 11. Hath a nation changed their gods, which are no gods?
No power.
But my people have changed their glory for that which doeth not profit.
No, go to it's over here. It says, can a maid forget her ornament?
Verse 32, can a maid forget her ornament?
Right. I was gonna say that. You just I was talking. I was gonna say that a woman should be adorned.
Right.
But men are made to be decorated.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right.
That deals with ranking.
And you talk about it in a couple of your lessons. And the thing about it is, and by all means, man, I understand women's plight, man, because it's hard to be submissive to another woman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because our men are acting like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but when they see a man of the Lord, they don't know how to act. But a man of the Lord could teach a woman how to act by his relationship with Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. Because we are the females and we are the women in that situation. Because we are the lesser forms of energy, man. It's not like women are degrading or women are worth nothing. There's empowerment in being a woman, if that's what you're being, a woman. To be a woman like Sarah was a woman. Be a true daughter of Zion, if you understand and know what that means.
A true princess.
A true princess, man.
Right.
Not
My bad.
no, you can.
Just like a man in this truth can't say, I turn to the Lord.
Right.
You're going to say, the Lord turned me down. Just like a woman can't say, I submitted under a man. She got to pray to the Lord to help her with that.
Yeah.
And us as men, we got to wait for the Lord to set up a situation to where he makes them submit to it. They submit to authority, and we're being raised up to that authority. So the same one that put us in hell is the same one that can bring us out. The same one that put us to sleep, the same one that can wake us up. The same one that turned our women and allowed them to be whores now, a lot of them, and allowed them to raise up against us is the same one that's going to humble them for us.
Right.
Set everything in order.
Right. That's understanding how to be a man of the Lord, not a dictator.
Right.
Everything is going to come in due time, and Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua is going to set everything up. Right. So as long as we don't lose our focal point, meaning keeping our eyes single, we can be risen up as being judges on the earth, and then we regained that authority that was once given to us by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. See, the problem is we forgot who we got our authority from. We forgot how we are decorated and how our women are adorned.
Case in point, are women in this society, they're seen as masculine, but really they're still doing what women do by submitting. But rather than submitting under something righteous, they do it under wickedness.
Right.
They'll submit to Esau, and a man who's also submitting to Esau will follow the woman. But when a man is submitting unto the Lord, the woman has a choice to submit herself unto that man who's submitting unto the Lord. The elder said it perfectly. If you want to teach somebody how to submit, you have to lead them by example. We submit unto the Lord as men, and if the woman truly wants to be with us, or truly wants to be with the Lord, and they have to submit themselves unto us, and it's all about what you were just saying earlier, humbling ourselves as a child, truly humbling ourselves, really.
Hey, too, that's just going to off what the elder said too. It's that authoritative figure too. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua building us up. So therefore, that's why they submit to Esau at the job. Why? Hey, Job 9:24. Earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Oh shit, Esau getting the job done. But yet at the same time, right now, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua building up his men, preparing that table in the midst of our enemies, man. All right. So therefore, hey shit, when that time comes, shit, they going to sit down at that table of the Lord, or the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's men, man.
And then you got these dictator-ass individuals that want people to fear them. We don't want nobody to fear us. We want y'all to fear the Lord. That's it. We don't get nothing out of somebody fear. I don't want nobody to fear me. Like, especially I'm just a human being, just like everybody else. Why would I want somebody to fear me? No, fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Yeah, we want respect, but if you don't respect, you should fear. If you don't get that respect, then you should fear, because the Lord gonna back us up.
All right, Jeremiah 2:32.
Jeremiah 2:32. Can a maid forget her ornaments, or a bride her attire? Yet my people have forgotten me days without number.
We forgot our cover. What were we covered with, man? What was our decorated uniform that we put on when we went to war? The covering of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But now 2/3 of our nation are choosing to be covered by something else. That's why we need judges on the earth, to bring you back into remembrance of what you once former knew. The things that are written aforetime are written for our learning. All right, somebody call a precept.
All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13. It says, "For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water."
Right.
So our people turned away from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And that was two evils that they did. They turned away from the Heavenly Father, which is the fountain, the living water, the power source, in which we got which we get our power from. And then they turned and healed themselves out cisterns, meaning they went to believe in other things. They walked away from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. They walked away from what's right. They walked away from being obedient. So that's two evils that the children of Israel committed.
Right. So now, if you walk away from something, right? If you don't walk so far, you turn around, you don't know where you at. You're gonna need directions, right? To get back to where your starting point was. That's what the men of the Lord is sent here to do, man.
And the best way to get direction is with a map. It's the map right here.
Right. Go ahead.
Hebrews 13:17. Obey them that have rule over you, and submit yourself, for they watch for your souls.
I ain't talking about just the women either. That's talking about the men. That's talking about the men. Obey your parents in the Lord. If somebody want to get that, y'all can get it.
And that rule over you goes into being a judge.
Go ahead.
Obey them that have rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief. But that is unprofitable for you. So when somebody telling you the truth and they don't listen, it becomes a grief to that person that's trying to teach you. That's right.
So within that, understanding our job, what we're sent out here to do, and we do it willingly, not as if it's a burden unto us. All right. What I call it? Judges. Who? Judges 2. Yeah, we'll go to Judges chapter 2.
Start at 1.
Yeah, start at 1. So this is going into Joshua, man, and how the children of Israel, us, were obeying Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai during the time of Joshua, and Joshua was set up as a judge. He brought us into the promised land and showed everybody their inheritance through the Spirit of the Lord, right? But right after that, Joshua passed. I think he was 110 years old or something like that when he passed. And after he passed, right, then there was no judge on the earth to judge Israel according to the law. So then Israel started going off and being wicked. So the Lord had to send another judge on the earth to bring us back to our rightful state. All right, go ahead.
It's the book of Judges, chapter 2, starting at verse 1. And the angel of the Lord came from Gilgal to Bashem and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt and have brought you unto the land which I swear unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you. And ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. Ye shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye done this?
Right. So put that in present day today. We're supposed to be tearing down their altars, meaning spiritually, right? But you got 2/3 of our people helping build them motherfuckers. They're helping build the altars, man. Look at these churches, man. Not even just the churches, the whole philosophies of life itself. Like that do as thy will. Like, oh yeah, he gonna forgive me anyway. You get what I'm saying? That's the mindset of 2/3 of our people. They seek refuge in Esau, but they cast the Lord to the side. You know something?
Yeah, just to back up your point about our people saying the Lord gonna forgive me anyway, because for whatever they did. This is back at Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 35. It says, Yet thou sayest, because I am innocent, surely his anger shall turn from me. Behold, I will plead with thee, because thou sayest, I have not sinned. So that's what our people think. They think, oh, what's going, and also Sirach, oh, what's going to happen to me because I did this? The Lord going to forgive me anyway. But the Lord is saying right here in the scriptures, just because you say you innocent and you have done no wrong, the Lord says he's going to plead with you. That means to judge, to bring judgment. Why? Because our people, they're the main ones that like to say, I ain't did nothing wrong because I'm going contrary to the Lord. And if I am, like the bishop said, it's been working for me this long. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. But the Lord says, I'm gonna plead with you. That means judgment.
Hey, Con, that's like scripture. Hey, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai compare us to a comely and delicate woman, man. Hey, and with that being said, as a nation should, a wicked, an adulterous woman wiping her mouth say she have done no wrong, man. So you go out doing the things that are opposing to the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Oh, well, shit, he'll forgive me, man. Hey, shit, I've been doing it like the brother said. I've been doing it all this time. I've been eating pork since I was born. Shit, I'm still here. Stuff like that. Hey, we're in the grace period, man. But once that grace period is closed, hey, it's off with your ass, man. Why? Because you had ample amount of time to turn back and seek the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. But guess what? You chose not to, man. Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye the Lord while you may be found. But yet you did not. You chose not to do that in that time of grace, man.
Yeah, because like according to Ecclesiastes, because judgment ain't been happening quickly like that, their minds is fully set in them to do evil. Jake, you got to break him in half literally for him to be like, oh, I was wrong. By this time, he about to die. Jake, you really have to do that to Jake. Almost for him to learn, like, oh, I was wrong. It's like it's too late to learn you was wrong when your life is literally leaving your body for something. For you not listening. It's too late to learn then.
Hey, Con, what it say? Hey, then should they know that the prophet have been among you? Hey, the same must know it after death by pain. Yep. When they see the missiles come, oh shit, damn, they was right. They was right. Hey, right before your death, right before you die, they say your whole life flashed before your eyes, man. Shit, they gonna think about all that, man.
Well, they think about it when they see the missiles, they go, Yahweh, Ba'Shem. It's gonna be too late.
What's the name?
It's gonna be too late by that time, bro. So that's why the Lord's giving them warning now, man.
Y'all hear something?
This is 1 John chapter 1 and verse 8. If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. And that's just what it is. You think you clean, man. Our righteousness is but filthy rags to the Lord. We do the best we can to appease him by keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and just fulfilling his will in general. You saying you in good case, that's a bold statement in a fleshly body. Because these bodies are keep us bound to this world, keeps us bound to sin. And for you to say you clean, that means you already got your body, you already got your reward. And we're here, so we ain't got it.
And that's not, and the beautiful part about it is the Lord is like bound to the because these bodies are called chains of darkness, man. That's got us chained, and the darkness is sin, bro. And we're chained to this darkness, right? And the Lord is loosing those chains through the Spirit. That's why we can't live according to the flesh. The flesh is have you looking at a pork chop, like, well, it is food. Okay, I'll eat it. Okay, yeah, okay, went down, tastes like food, ain't nothing happened. All right, boom, let me continue to do that. But the Spirit will tell you, nah, according to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai, I shouldn't eat that. So let me stay away from that.
Right, other than that, it was just beast.
Huh.
That's what animals do.
Huh.
They eat whatever. Like on that movie, like on that show Survivor.
Right.
They do be eating everything.
Yeah.
Bear Grylls. Everything. If we move, we eating it.
Yeah.
That has like 5 grams of protein in there. That'll do me for about 2 days.
That's him.
Okay. Let's get back to Judges. Yeah.
Back at Judges chapter 2 and verse 3. Wherefore I also said,
and so he left the Canaanites in the midst, right, as a form of reproof and correction on us how not to live. All right, so we're supposed to stand on our integrity, stand on the Spirit of the Lord, and conduct ourselves according to His law, statutes, and commandments in front of these wicked Africans.
Yeah, he look at Philistines.
The Philistines. Go ahead.
God. Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your sides, and their God shall be a snare unto you.
God.
And it came to pass, when the angel of the Lord spake these things unto the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept. And they called the name of that place Bashem, and they sacrificed there unto the Lord.
Our people and the sacrifice today is coming out here and doing this work, man. And submitting yourself to the power of Yahweh by Shem Shai. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And when Joshua had let the people go, the children of Israel went every man into his inheritance to possess the land. And the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua and all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua.
So they had elders and judges correcting the nation of Israel throughout all the days of Joshua, man. Go ahead.
Right, yeah, judges like after what Caleb, Ehud, there's another guy that had an ox's gold.
Shamgar.
Those are judges, they were heroes.
Verse 7. Who has seen all the great works of the Lord that he did for Israel? And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old. And they buried him in the border of his inheritance in Timnatherims in the mount of Ephraim on the north side of the hill Gash. And also all that generation were gathered unto their fathers, and there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord, nor yet the works which have been done for Israel.
Boom. Key point right there. Another generation grew up that knew not the Lord, right? So how are they supposed to figure it out? Unless somebody came down there and gave them recollection of who he is, just like how he's doing today with his prophets, man. So be thankful that you have prophets out here judging the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 11 of Judges chapter 2. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord and served Baalim. And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt.
All right, and our people, 2/3 of our people that are in these churches are doing that same thing today.
Yep.
By committing themselves unto,
vanity.
Yeah, that other name that I don't even like speaking on.
Cool.
Iosis, whatever. Zeus. Go ahead.
And follow other gods and the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them and provoked the Lord to anger.
Boom.
And
Go ahead.
they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtaroth. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them. And he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies.
Right, and then aren't we in that same position today, right now? All right, so the Lord is giving a breakdown of what he does to the children of Israel, to us, when we don't listen, and how he gets us back into his good graces. Go ahead. Yeah, please up.
Yeah, kind of like interjection.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is back at Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 36. This says, why gaddest thou abroad so much to change thy way? Thou shalt be ashamed of Egypt as thou was ashamed of Assyria.
Right, and they're going to be ashamed of America as they was ashamed of all of them, because that's the places that they're taking refuge. You want to speak on it?
Oh, yeah, the Lord was saying, why gaddest thou abroad? That means to change their way. As the brother was just reading, there wasn't no judges, and as soon as there wasn't no judges, what happened? Israel bent over backwards to go left field. So the Lord was asking, why do you do this? What's the reason?
Yep. And today that would fit Revelation 13 and 16. They're changing their way to seek love. You know, because at that time, what scripture was that?
Verse 36 of Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. So that was when our people was trying to go back into Egypt. And the Lord was like, I just brought you out of Egypt. So the same way you was ashamed, I showed you that you was ashamed in Assyria. You love that place. I'm gonna show you that if you go into Egypt, you're gonna be ashamed of that too. So that's when the Lord raised up Nebuchadnezzar to go against the Egyptians. Yep. So they were trying to run from Babylon, and the Lord told them to go into Babylon with Jeremiah. But they were trying to go in with the Egyptians. And that was Zedekiah's problem too.
All right, back at Judges chapter 2 and verse 15. Whithersoever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil, as the Lord has said, and as the Lord hath sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed. Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them.
Boom. Now who spoiled us? Who's spoiling us today right now? All these other nations are. But who is the main one spoiling us today? Esau. All right, so the Lord is going to do the same thing. Raise up judges, right, to deliver them. But the ultimate judge is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But we're coming in his image, coming in his likeness, man. Because we're not. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right, well, he said what? Evil, what? He said evil.
The Lord, and the hand of the Lord was against them for evil.
Right, that was back then. So this is today. Isaiah 9 and 16.
Yeah.
The leaders of this people caused them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. And Esau and these other nations lead our people too. Therefore, the Lord shall have no joy in their young men. See that? Neither shall have mercy on their fatherless and widows. For everyone is an hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Still got that. He's still chasing them with that evil, that bad destruction.
And they're gonna follow him all the way to the end.
Right.
Except for those that turn to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They get a place of refuge. And that's in the strong tower. You got a piece up?
This is Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 17. It says, I will scatter them as with an east wind before the enemy. This is the Lord speaking about Israel. It says, and I will show them the back and not the face in the day of their calamity. And I read this some days ago, and it really it was kind of depressing, because if you could really imagine being really in calamity and you're reaching out to somebody and they look at you and just turn their back, that's some very disheartening type shit. But the main reason that the Lord did it is to show his power and to show the world that he exists, that he is Yahweh.
Right.
That he's in control.
It's gonna be like that one joke by the Benjamite man. His friend was out drowning. He was sitting on the beach. He said he called for everybody, but he didn't call on my name, and I was sitting right here, man. So it's gonna be like the same thing with the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai that time, man. Hey, shit, I'm right here, but yet you want to call on everybody when I'm sitting right here. Hey, right here for your aid, man. But yet, hey, that's what, once again, seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. Because shit, as you calling upon these different names and seeking out the other gods, you're constantly moving further away from the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man.
It's just like if you have a woman, right? I'll tell you how the most I feel. Just like if you have a woman that you do everything for this woman, right? But you still find her in infidelity, like getting gifts or whatever, whatnot from other men. And then when shit really hits the fan and she realizes who's been holding her down this whole time, she gonna turn back to her original man. It explains everything in the book of Hosea. She gonna turn back to the original man, right? That she knew had her back. And then what is he gonna say? Go get that motherfucker you've been talking to go do that for you. That's what the Lord's gonna tell us. Or tell them, slacking, not us. Tell them, go call upon the gods you've been serving. Don't call upon me now because you're in the time of distress.
2 Timothy 2:11. It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him in the kingdom. If we deny him, he will also deny us. If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful, he cannot deny himself.
Can't. He's a witness unto himself, man. So he cannot deny himself. And if we stay faithful all the way to the end, which it's a choice, it's not even a choice, man. It was predestined for those that were chosen in the beginning to stay faithful all the way to the end. But he's not going to deny himself. He's a witness unto himself.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 9. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, plead the cause of the poor and needy. You know, you 2/3, so-called Latino, live in Steppenburg. You think you're rich. You know, you're just like us, poor and in need of the truth of who you really are.
Well, actually, they poor, we rich.
Oh, the one. Pick up that.
Yeah. The ones that's watching that really truly the faithful ones that's watching, that's trying to get the spirit of the Lord, you know, they're rich too. But people don't understand. They let Esau, 2/3 of our people let Esau tell them what riches is. And I think this was this was Dave Chappelle when he told his dad that they were poor. And his dad told him like, oh, you think we're poor because we don't have money? He said poverty is a state of mind.
He said we broke.
We broke. But poverty is a state of mind. Being poor is a state of mind because the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans need to understand that they're rich in the Lord. Yahweh is the Father's name, Yahweh Shai is the Son's name. We need to turn back to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Thus saith the Lord, man, or be destroyed along with America. All right. Oh yeah, go ahead.
All right, 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but of this world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. And that's just what it is. You're supposed to store your treasures in heaven. Anything down here is temporary. That pride you got behind your house, car, whatever, is temporary. Your pastor temporary. Your doctor is temporary. That foundation y'all standing on temporary. The Lord finna come back and throw all that down. Only the righteous are going to be justified and glorified in their sayings. That's the foundation that's standing sure. That's the boat you want to be on. That's going to stay afloat.
It's funny you say that. I was walking in the neighborhood to get to my place, and I saw a dilapidated ass house. Somebody was living there, and I was like, damn, that house kind of bummed. You know, it's probably somebody that worked like a regular 9-to-5 job and shit like that. And I keep walking in the driveway. It was a clean ass Tesla. I was like, huh, with a home charging station in there. I was like, that's kind of weird.
But the problem is that, and that was probably an Edomite.
Yeah. Well, I think
because
it was.
they could take. They have a system that's centered around glorifying them, right? And so they could take the bare minimum. And they cool with it. That's why they wear the busted up shoes. They don't spend a whole bunch of money on clothes and stuff like that because they cool with the bare minimum. Because guess what? They in a heavenly state. But our people are so 2/3 of our people are so impoverished in the mind that they have to do all this extraordinary stuff to solidify the void that's in their mind. It's the mindset that makes you poor, man. Yeah. Not you can buy all these different things, but you're still poor in spirit because you haven't turned to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And that's just it. That's when you become rich, man. That's when you understand what wealth is. You want generational wealth? Get something that you can pass down to your children because the money gonna change when you leave this earth. You get what I'm saying? So if you're trying to give your people generational wealth, you're taking them straight to the Revelation 13 and 16.
Generational debt.
For real. But if you increase in the spirit and pass down to your sons and daughters, that's generational wealth. That's the wealth that was given unto us by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, according to Matthew chapter 6, man.
Kanye said it right. He said, I'm so self-conscious That's why y'all been seeing me with at least one of my watches, and he just kept going into the inward turmoil that people be, but they put so much on the outside to facade the outside. Inwardly, they're spiritually poor, so that's why they focus so much on the outside to try to look, to try to be boisterous. They're not being flashy to stun on other people. They're really trying to beguile themselves to make themselves believe that they're rich. Floyd Money Mayweather. Yeah. Inwardly, he's nothing but a man. Well, honestly, he's nothing but a man. But he has to force it in his mind that he's something else.
Yeah, like the gorilla Hebrew.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Or general,
yeah. Yeah. They have to
money making Nate.
Yeah. Boost the club.
Wow. Or just
They,
top it off.
No, I was done.
And it says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So they so focused on how they look down here, they're not focused on how the Lord looking at them. They wanna appease men, but look, the Lord is somewhere looking for his belt finna come judge them. And they not worried about that because they homeboys still eyeballing their shoes. They getting the attention that they seeking for. The cardinal, especially love.
Yeah, they think gain is godliness.
Right.
They begin to clean the outside of the cup, but not the inside.
Right. That's why you see IUIC with such a big congregation, because that's what they cater toward, to gain is godliness.
They put gold on it.
Right. Right. I want the Lord to put gold on me. Make me more precious than fine gold. How about that? How about that? That's way better, because I'd rather be a pathway or a conduit to get to the source, meaning the elders, and then from the elders they go to Yahweh Shai, from the Yahweh Shai they get to Yahweh, than to be somebody Drake that I got this presidential Rolex, Louis V, all this other kind of stuff, which not going to profit me anything, because all that shit going to be destroyed. God. I can't get to the kingdom and be like, show the Lord, yeah, I got this, I had caught this shit, you know what I'm saying? You see that? No, that
Johnny
shit
Dane,
ain't
boy, Johnny
right.
Dane.
Yeah, a lot of these camps, they got money. You think about it, if they weren't in this truth, where would they be? What type of money would they have? What type of talent did they have?
God. None.
Exactly.
Gang banging on the internet.
Bro.
Adonis Aurelius.
They probably be a general in the military or something like that.
A witch.
Warlock.
Selling dope.
Yeah, Nate was the FBI General Yohana. He was selling books with a silk shirt, with a damn rayon shirt on. With the big collar and shit. So he was a hustler. We can't trust him.
Right. Right. He would be a deacon in the church.
Not here,
yeah, the other dude, he sing like Eddie Murphy. What's his name from GOCC?
Bubble Eyes.
Yeah, Bubble Eyes.
Bubble Eye Blackfish.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey, and it's so funny, and the mindset that the energy that they put out, how in their congregations, right? I had a best friend that I grew up with, right? We parted ways after high school. After he went to college, we parted ways, and we came into truth right about the same time, right? But he was way up in DC, and I was down here, so we always kept communication back and forth with each other. And then I was like, boom, I hit him up. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Put him on the phone with the elder and everything. We talking, chopping it up and everything like that. And then he calls me a week later and says, I found the name of the Most High. I said, what? I said, I found it. He said, I said, bro, we talked about this the other day, Yahweh, right? He said, no, I was looking at GOCC. I said, oh my goodness. And mind you, I ain't nothing but like a couple, right? I ain't nothing but a couple months in this, but I knew immediately that I can't talk to you no more. And it made me realize a point that he will probably accept the word if it wasn't coming from me.
Gone.
Because the last conversation he had, he said that I think I know everything and can't nobody teach me anything. Right? And I'm like, well, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't taught. You get what I'm saying? So the thing about it is the people are not realizing who they're striving against. They're striving against the Lord, man. And that spirit that's within you. But they look at you and see your face, right? And they think those are your words coming out of your mouth when it's not. So you being a judge upon this earth, man, you have a calling and a duty to see past their foolishness and give them the message, whether they hear or forbear. Don't take it personal. Just wipe the dust off your feet and keep it moving if they don't want to hear it.
Right, they don't want you to light their candle.
Huh?
You got fire in your hand, and they don't want you got a lighter, and they don't want to use your lighter.
No, they don't want to use your
They want
lighter.
the Lord to do it.
Yeah.
The Lord gonna light their candle with a new.
That's the whole candle. Everybody gotta go.
The weekend.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you want a light? Gotcha. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. All right, let's get back to that, judges.
Greatest light in history.
The last light you ever did.
Real.
Go watch Oppenheimer.
Get back to what you said about earlier, how being humble as a child when you come into this truth. This is Matthew chapter 19. I'm gonna start at verse 3. And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So what the bishop was saying earlier throughout the lesson about constantly saying that we have to be humble as a child. You know what I'm saying? Only how you're going to receive this truth is by humbling yourself as a child and taking in this truth. If you come in with a prideful spirit, you're not going to attain this truth. You're not going to repent. You're going to buck up against every man that you come encounter with this truth. Not to attain this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man.
Right.
Going off what you said, how your friend said he feels like he can't be taught. That's stagnant water. Yeah. That's just water. So you saying that within your vessel, you know, there's no newness that can be put into you. That's horrible. And when we're stagnant water, it just gets dirty. Mosquitoes get all up in it, all microbes, and you can get algae. Algae and all that shit.
It becomes toxic.
It becomes toxic.
And the thing about it, as we grew up, not to get long-winded, as we grew up, he's the one that taught me how to DJ. He taught me a lot of music. He was always teaching me things. But as we both I came into the truth, it was reversed. Now the Lord made me the teacher, but he, as I was receptive to him, what he was teaching me in the world, he was not receptive to me what I was teaching him in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
Hey,
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 16. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of a wise man are heard in quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. So come on, man, you know, backing up the bishop's statement, you know what I'm saying? He was so used to teaching, you know, the bishop growing up, when it got to a time where it's time for the bishop to teach him, he didn't want to accept it. So now he tried to come and teach the bishop again. No, this is the name of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? When it's all said and done with. But our people, they're not going to accept us because the words of a poor man are heard at quiet.
The first part of the scripture said wisdom is stronger than strength.
Yeah, wisdom is better than strength.
Wisdom is better than strength. That's why Solomon had all that wisdom, and no one respected him because he went out to war a whole bunch of times and like crushed a whole bunch of kingdoms, like King David. You know, the King David's strength was the strength, but also his wisdom. Wisdom is better than fine rubies. Wisdom goes through all time periods. Wisdom is everything, more moving than any motion. The wisdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is what truly solidifies somebody in this realm. It will truly glorify somebody in this realm.
Hey, one thing about Solomon, he ain't F off either, man.
Oh, yeah.
He ain't F off either. Hey, bro, yeah, Solomon had individuals shaking in their boots whenever he come on when he show his presence. So he has some assertiveness with him too. Now,
right. But like Queen Sheba. He respected his wisdom.
He
built that vast kingdom. And all the details that were put into it, that was the Most High putting that on Yahweh's heart.
Solomon being Yahweh.
Hey, if I may add on too, it's a couple points too. Just like, hey man, for example, if somebody that's been teaching you something so long that you be led to the water, all right, and now it's those roles reversed, man. Hey, that's going back to humbling yourself as a child, man. You know why? Because one thing about it, Scripture says, "Freely receive, freely give." All right, you've seen different scenarios when a child hey, no, don't do it this way, do it this way. All right, cool. The next thing you know, that same child that was being taught something come back and try to teach that child something else, man. It's like a barter system almost of knowledge, man. You know, so hey, that's how we have to be too as well, man. You know, a child is always willing to learn. All right, they'll accept anything from another child, and also too, they have those boundaries that's set by the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. If anything comes up opposing to how they was raised, man, if it's wrong, they're not gonna go down that path, man. You know.
And on some real shit, I was hanging out with my little cousin, and these new kids, they claim with the technology. I was doing something, and he saw me doing it wrong, and he ran up. He's like, "Oh, hey, do it like this," and he showed me. I was like, "Oh, okay, it worked a lot better." And that's really how we have to be in the spirit, not just in carnality, not just with you children. We humble ourselves like a child, being ready to receive the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and that can come from anywhere. That can come from anywhere, from anybody, and we have to be ready and willing to receive that.
And understanding that pride stunts your growth.
Yeah,
you can't grow when you got pride in the way. It just conflicts with the process of growth, man. Because you can learn something from anybody. I learn from my children. You know what I'm saying? I learn a lot from my children.
The prideful can't understand the language of the meek. It's like darkness can't understand light.
Also, pride, it keeps you from gaining wisdom. It puts a stumbling block in front of you. The first, like, as soon as you start going and you get prideful, you stumble. Guess what? Now you start back to square one again. Pride keep you from learning. It keep you from asking for help. It keep you from a lot of things that's good for you when you prideful.
But no, you said something like pride keep you from asking for help.
Yeah,
that's serious. There's a lot of people out here who are starving, who are dehydrated, who are really in bad conditions, but because of their pride, they're not reaching out to the Lord.
Pride to keep you from listening to people that's close to you that know what's right.
Right.
They're trying to keep you from listening and make you think, you know, like most people, our families and friends, they get that who you think you is, or you can't tell them nothing. And when you use wisdom and you shut up and you let them talk, within 5 seconds you figure out and you notice like, okay, you don't know nothing, so let me speak again to help you. Pride won't even let them receive it.
And I have forgotten the major point, the reason why I brought up that story. But the reason why I brought up that story is we continued on to have conversations, right? And then I brought up, the elder had pointed me to a video of GOCC's Rakah, talking about he got all this money from these individuals, his congregation, right? And said he made it to salvation. Yeah.
I don't know where I'm at, y'all, but I'm in the chariot. And then next thing I hear, like, I'm in Jerusalem, so people started paying money, allegedly, paying money to go meet him over there. They were paying him to meet him there. But his black ass was right in New York.
Yeah.
Riding around a Lamborghini.
And then when I brought that up with evidence of that, and I'm telling you, he was totally slandering the apostles and my elder. Totally, totally. No, he was bringing them out wrong.
Yeah.
But within that, when I brought up the situation with Ricard from GOCC, his first response was, everybody makes mistakes.
God damn.
Right. So with that being said, understanding like the mindset of these leaders of these people of the same like mind are going to follow behind them. You see what I'm saying? So they're not going to obtain to wise counsel. So understanding this, we already know 2/3 of our people are not going to listen to the counsel that we have from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, but we still don't know who they are. So we got to go to everybody. Go ahead then.
This is Rock chapter 13. I'm gonna start at verse 14. It says, "Love the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai all thy life. Call upon him for thy salvation. Every beast loveth his light, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave unto his light."
And it's beautiful that the Lord set it up like that because man, that's what you're gonna cleave unto. And I'm blessed. I thank Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai every day to be in the midst of these brothers, man. I think because I don't look at myself. And what makes me feel like I'm a man of the Lord is the individual that he surrounds me by. because what? Listen, sometimes being out here in this world, being out here in this society can be real slippery, man. And when you have the counsel of the congregation of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to help you, like hold you up, like bro, you slipping a little bit, you good? You know, just the other day the elder had to ask me if I was good, and I had to get right. You understand? But imagine not having that. Imagine not having that voice in your ear, like, hey, tighten up a little bit, man. You messing up a little bit. I need you to tighten up. You get what I'm saying? Imagine not having that responsibility to be held accountable. Yeah, it's a big responsibility, but it's a sense of feeling like everybody wants to feel like they belong to something or they're a part of something, right? But I don't want to be a part of something. I want something to be a part of me. So once that happens, and I look around and I see the evidence of things hoped for, meaning faith in these individuals, then that makes me feel more of assurance that I'm a man of the Lord. You get what I'm saying? Because one bad apple can spoil a whole bunch. Because he'll get you up out the way quick, fast, in a hurry. You get what I'm saying? So understanding everything's going to sort to its kind. We all slip and fall sometimes, but having the counsel of individuals that'll help you in your time of need. That's why the scriptures say bear one another's burdens. And one of the major burdens that we have to bear is sin. So that's why we have to be judges on this earth, correcting our people, whether they hear or forbear. All right.
I got an objection.
All right, go ahead.
Back up there. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and 11. The words of the wise are as gold, and as nails fastened by the masters of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd.
Oh, the words of the wise are. I'm gonna let you go into the point. The words of the wise are as gold, man. And but think about it. I heard the elders say this a couple times. A wise man desires a listening ear. So knowing that, we don't want to become hermits and monks and wizards, like obtaining all this knowledge and sitting in a room. I have all this knowledge. No, we want to feed that out to the people that are willing to obtain unto this wise counsel.
Because when we do that, the angels in heaven rejoice.
Right.
For one sinner that turned away.
No, you can.
No, just for one sinner that turned away, the angels in heaven rejoice. So as we're gaining this knowledge, we want to make sure that we find somebody with an inquiring ear so that we can save. So they're like, praise to y'all about Shimei Shine. We're like, bet.
Man, listen, man, the Lord set us up to get it from the muscle, man. We hustlers out here, man. So the Lord does not want us to take our talent and bury it in the earth. The Lord does want us to get out here hustling to get gain back, right?
Double it,
right? So check this out, man. Check this out. Look at Esau though. He can't hustle for nothing, man. Man, he gotta lie and deceive in order to get what he need to get, bro.
Still,
you know,
finesse.
This is Sirach 3:29. The heart of the prudent will understand the parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man.
Right. Good. So, and think about it, the heart of the prudent will understand a parable. So now think about it. When we come to these people and we're giving them the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? Just like I had to be given proper provender first. I wasn't able to chew it and digest it correctly, so it had to be broken down for me to be able to understand. So that's why it's important, because if you try to read these scriptures for face value, you're not going to be able to understand. That's not going to lead you to salvation. You have to have a certain spirit of discernment, right? And that spirit might be within you, but it might not have been ignited to bring it out. So that's why some people have to come, true men of the Lord have to come break it down to make it simple and plain. Just like how he told Habakkuk, make it plain and write it upon tables so that he may run that readeth it. So understanding that's why we desire a listening ear.
Right. He said what? What does it say? What cleaves unto his light?
It says, Sirach chapter 13, verse 15. Yeah. It says, every beast loveth his light, and every man loveth his neighbor, and all flesh conserveth according to kind, and man will cleave to his light.
Right. So this is Wisdom of Solomon 1:1. The Lord says, love righteousness. See that? So you cleave unto your light, which would be to love righteousness. All right, not loving the wickedness of this world, not loving these rappers and these singers, not loving these athletes and their lifestyle, not loving your church pastor. not loving these holidays. But the Lord said, what? Love righteousness and hate wickedness. All right.
And that's crazy because using these several celebrities as an example, like you have a fan of these celebrities, when they see them in person, they'll go in the car to damn near cardiac arrest. But you see the man of the Lord with the spirit of the Lord on him, man. Oh, who is you? Who is you? You see how twisted and perverse this nation is, man. 2/3 of our people.
Wisdom of Solomon 1:1. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. See that? Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek Him. For He will. So keep it simple. You gotta have some big extravagant club that you're entering into to find the Lord. Like Masons, IUIC, congregations with record labels and all that. The Lord said in the simplicity, seek Him of heart. For He will be found of them that tempt Him not, and show Himself unto such as do not distrust Him, man.
God, man. So
right. Trust Him with the Lord set up.
All
right, because the Most High put the design, the outline, or the blueprint into Yahweh's mind or Solomon's mind to build that temple in detail. So much that Queen Sheba wanted to come and be in awe of his wisdom. The same way Yahweh put it in Yahweh's heart to build this temple. So we have to trust His way. See it? Trust what He set up.
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Oh, temple being built outside of Israel.
Right.
Yeah. Bring that out and then you go.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
It says, spare not, man. So we can't spare nobody.
You're gonna lose some friends.
Yeah. Definitely gonna do that.
Family members too.
Family members too.
Especially family members.
Right. That's why the Lord said, "Who is my mother? Who is my brother?"
Right. Come.
They that are willing to do the will of my Father, man. Those are my brother, my mother. Those are my kinsmen. So understand that the Lord is a perfect balance. With everything that you lose entering into the faith, you're gonna get double that in gain. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna gain that double. Like we lost family members, but we lost carnal family members, but we gained spiritual brothers. You know, we're being in the midst of a spiritual tabernacle set up by the Most High. It don't get no better than that, man. Once you realize that what life really is, you realize that you weren't living in the beginning. Like Marvin said, this ain't living. Maybe want to holler. This is not life. And understanding that, man, look at what, since our people have been in America, that what the things that the calamities that they face and the struggles that they've been through, but still carnally was able to create hope out of that. You get what I'm saying? So now just understand, if we knew what real true hope was, if we understood the Spirit, if they understood the Spirit, because He put it in us, we are the salt of the earth. He put it in us, but everything that Jake tried to do on this side and try to progress in it, he said He gonna blow on it. The Lord said He gonna blow on it. He gonna destroy it. You gotta trust His process and go according to the way He wanted it done.
Hey, Con, that go back to the point that you made earlier, man. Hey, that's what a crazy person does: keep doing the same shit over and over, and then expect to get different results, man. Hey, how about this time we turn back, repent to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Hey, that way we can attain salvation. That way we can be delivered. We can get delivered out of the hand of the fowler, man.
Man, listen. All you got, man, somebody needs to say, man, we've been trying to get to Egypt for I don't know how long. And the Lord just told us to march around Jericho 7 times, we'd have been done.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? People want to go about bringing their own way to salvation, building the Tower of Babel. All these different type of perverse things to what they think in their mind is a solution to the problem, and not understanding that they the problem. You know, and the Lord has already given the solution, man. You got a point you want to make? No. Okay. Go ahead.
This is Micah, chapter verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction.
Does that mean pack your bags and leave America? No, it doesn't, man. Get your mind up out of this place, man, because you don't want your mind to be like destroyed in this place. Because this place is gonna rip everybody to shreds, man. The Lord's gonna use this place to rip everybody to shreds. You know, and there's no way out. There's one way out. You gotta trust His way. You gotta trust the process. Like the elder said, there's only one way out. There's only one way out to salvation, and that's the Lord's way. So you can try to build your own way if you want to. Your way is gonna get burnt up too.
Damn, God. Hey, you be on the straight and narrow shit. You got 230. Hey, shit, maybe if we jump down right here, we can catch this rail. Go, nah, man. Hey, shit, that's the way that seems right into it, man. But the end thereof are the ways of death, man. You know, it's just gonna lead you right to your demise, man.
It's like that Geico commercial where it's a scary movie, and it's like, let's go to the car that's running. No, let's go hide over here in the chainsaws. That's 2/3 of our people, man.
Cranking it, making all that noise, and the killer just like, oh, y'all niggas stupid as shit.
Yeah, man.
They'll never think to come over here.
As a matter of fact,
Let's go hide in the basement.
as a matter of fact, they ran to where the killer was at. I think he was sharpening the axe in that.
Yeah.
Ran
And
to
he's just
him.
sitting there back there like, "Geez."
You turn around like, oh,
Ain't even
y'all stupid as hell. Yeah,
Right.
the whole car out there. Y'all gonna come in here with me?
Right. And that's why people running down, wanting to run down to Egypt for help. Modern day Egypt talking about America today, man.
They running
That's
right
why-
to the wall of chainsaws. Like,
That's why he brought that scripture out, man. Arise, depart, for this is not your rest. You want to
And it said, because it's polluted.
Right.
The things in this world, the philosophies, the whatever, the dainties that Esau try to give you is polluted. It's gonna cloud your mind to where you can't think straight, to where you think you in good case, but really you're tainted. Your mindset is corrupted.
Come on, man. So basically, right. And what's the word that our people like to use now, man? Toxic, toxicity, and all that kind of stuff, right? Esau the most toxic being on the earth, but our people, they want to talk about being toxic, but they still look up to this devil for authority, man. That's why John 8:44 is written.
And another one is delusional too. Is they falling after Esau's delusion, man,
Right.
thinking that this is a place for us, man. Like the brother just brought out, this is not our rest. Shit,
Right.
hey, we giving you that rest that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua told us to come about in, which is, hey, in these scriptures, man, with
Right.
Sophia, you know.
Go ahead, my Lord.
All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 21, in verse 10. The way of sinners is made plain with stones, but at the end thereof is the pit of hell. Khan. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just bringing this out to back up the brothers. You know, the way of sinners is made plain with stone. You know what I'm saying? And that's 2/3 of the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. They hard-headed as hell, man. They only can follow after their father, the devil, which is the so-called Caucasian race, which are the Edomites of the Bible, man. And it also said, you know what I'm saying, at the end thereof is a pit of hell. We already in the pit. The fire just ain't got here yet. The pit is America, man. You know, this place was made for a timeout period for the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. This wasn't no goddamn, you know what I'm saying, nightclub. I know, you know what I'm saying, we get everything that we want on this side, man.
No, it's not that place at all. But that whole American dream has them delusional, man. Just like Eric Carter said, delusional, man. They're very delusional.
I have a.
Also, like you said, his point. They cling on to Esau. They also cling on to the Africans, the Arabs. They cling on to anything that seems successful.
Anything but the Lord.
They think Islam is successful, they're gonna cling to it. With Farrakhan and these Arabs. They think Africans is successful with Wakanda and all that. They're gonna cling under that, but they ain't gonna be the dirty African. They ain't gonna cling into them. You know, the one with the flies. They ain't gonna try to be like that. Yeah. Right. They don't want to be like that. They don't want to be like the trailer parks. But they want to be like the successful ones, man. That's why they shave their beard. You know, they change their voice like this, and you know, they change their religion, they change their beliefs.
They want to cling to that money of this wicked world.
Right, they want authority and fame.
Yeah.
They spiritually bleaching.
Spiritual lepers.
Yeah.
King James talked about that in his letter to his son.
You still got that book?
Yeah, I must have finished it today. I was reading it yesterday. He spoke about spiritual lepers.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to them that have it. You're only going to get wisdom when you are being called, number one, and number two, when you start using and believing in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and you go through your elders and learn the truth of what is written in Scripture. Money in this world ain't going to last. It's fake. It's artificial. Okay? It's not going to save you. It's not going to give you wisdom.
Not.
Principle, okay.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard?
Right.
And how should they hear without a preacher?
Right. So how should you understand here without a preacher or a teacher or anybody? So you have to have something that's going to bring you back to the Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, the problem is 9 times out of 10, 2/3 of our people don't want to. 2/3 of our people don't want to hear it from the individual that's in front of them, giving them that message. They want the Lord to come down there Himself.
Yeah, my bad. I just wanted to add on the point too, going back to the lesson. A lot of times we usually have people above us, father figures, mentors, things of that nature, to correct us and teach us the way to go. It says in the book of Proverbs, train up a child in the ways that he shall be, when he get older. And that's how we must be today. We put away the old man. We pour that old wine out and we make ourselves new bottles. Because what? We have to relearn ourselves. We have to relearn how to conduct ourselves in a spiritual manner, not according to carnality, but according to how the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai needs us to act to be in the image of His Son Yahweh Shai.
This is the book of Psalm 80, 14 through 16. Return, we beseech thee, O Yahweh of hosts. Look down from heaven and behold and visit this vine and the vineyard which thy right hand hath planted, and the branch thou madest strong for thyself. It is burned with fire, it is cut down, they perish at the revolt of the countenance.
Countenance.
All right, because the countenance of 2/3 of our people is shame, right? But they don't even know it. But the countenance of the men of the Lord and Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is righteousness, man. All right, so we're to look towards Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai for guidance.
Yahweh Shai's countenance. So just His countenance is righteousness. Our people perish at the rebuke of His countenance.
Man.
His presence alone. That's why the scriptures say they run from the light.
Yeah,
the light. What it say? They run from the light because they don't want their deeds to be reproved.
Yeah, somebody get that. John 3:19.
Right. And dwelling in the truth is His presence. That's the spirit of truth.
This is the book of John, chapter 3, verse 19. And this is the condemnation that the light is coming to the world. And men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil.
All right, keep going.
It says, for everyone that doeth evil have not the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds shall be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they should rot in Yahweh.
Boom. What are your deeds rotten? Are they rotten to the world, or are they into Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man? So you got to understand. You got to understand what's within you, darkness or light. You know, that's why the Lord said, keep thy eye single, man. Because if your eye be single, the whole body is full of light. All right. So if you're around here being a busybody, trying to do all these different types of things, you're not focusing on the Lord. Your eyes are full of evil, man.
Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 4. No, 3. For froward thoughts separate from Yahweh, and His power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. See, His presence. For into a malicious or wicked soul, right? Into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. So if you're around a person that's subject unto sin, wisdom won't deal with them, man. That means the light. They won't have the light if they don't hear you.
They're not gonna hear you.
All right, because one candle light up another candle. But if they don't want that fire, if they don't want that light, they're gonna dwell in darkness. For wisdom is a loving spirit. No, for the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit, man. So anybody that believing in these lies, ultimately, that whole tree is going to become corrupt. Like Sakari, you've seen them over years, it get worse and worse. First is one thing, and then they get a whole congregation, and then their doctrine get worse and worse. Wicked wax worse and worse.
Hey, if I may add on,
IUIC?
it say if a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked, man. So you wicked by association, man. Guilty by association.
And the more members that they gain, becomes more wickedness.
They say, what they say? They say birds of a feather flock together. And then that's why the wicked attainment to wicked counsel and the godly attainment to godly counsel, because you're gonna be who you hang around.
Right.
You know, I seen the brother Barack. He posted something on his story. He said, "You are who you hang around," and he hang around Hebrews. So guess what? You know what I'm saying? It's just by association, man.
Right. They say the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
God.
And you're gonna know them by their fruits, man.
Right. For the whole verse 5, for the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. For the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things have knowledge of the voice. Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance, when it punisheth, passes by him.
So you don't want to be on that side of the spectrum. I got a precept for you though.
Okay.
All right. You don't want to be on that side of the spectrum when that happens, man. You don't want to be in the anger of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So you want to obtain in the wise counsel, obtain under the wisdom, so you can be a friend of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 25. For she is the breath of the power of Yahweh, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore, can no defiled thing fall into her.
Right. Everybody want to get on the internet, be an influencer, right?
Right.
We need to influence people with this truth.
That's it. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of Yahweh, and the image of his goodness. And so, not everybody's going to be acceptable to that being passed on, because if they're defiled, then wisdom will not cleave on or obtain unto her. And wisdom got to try them first to make sure that they're worthy. So what did it say? First, she'll deal with you in crooked ways.
15%.
15.
Everybody got a bunch of mirrors reflecting the light to each other, and somebody show up with a cracked mirror. Dirty ass cracked old mirror. It can't show the reflection of the Lord. We start wrapping it up.
Yeah. This is Rock, chapter 6, verse 20. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her. She will light upon him as a mighty weight. She will light upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her from him ere it be long. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifested to many. Hey, as the brother Bishop Canuck was speaking though, man, hey, wisdom gonna lie upon you as a mighty stone, man, mighty stone of trial. So therefore, hey, it's like you being on the bench press shit. Hey, if you can't get up off your chest, you know how it's shit. Hey, you gotta know the procedures to get up off it. To the right, to the left. Lean it off. Hey, shit. Hey, get it off to you to the right or push it to the left, man. Hey, that's the same way they go do with the truth, man. Why? Because they can't take the what's the word I'm looking for?
Burden, the responsibility.
There you go, responsibility for it, man. So with that being said, nah, that's too much, man. Shit, that ain't for me. I can't do that, man.
I had a friend, I got a guy from Philly that my older brothers just hang around. And one day he was talking to me, and this go a reflection of what you were saying about the people you've been talking to. And they won't listen. And they'll cast it off of them because it's too heavy for them, man. You know, they're light. So they don't want nothing too heavy, too deep. Well, this guy I talked one day, I was in the car, he was right here, I'm talking to him in the window, and he started rapping. You know, everybody in Philly think they can rap. Yeah. So he started rapping, and I was like, his old ass still rapping, whatever. But he was still rapping, he had some bars. Yeah. He wasn't that good, but whatever. So anyway, he was rapping, and I was like, hey, man, started teaching him. And he stopped me. He said, I can't hear that right now. You know, don't tell me. He's like, don't tell me. Like he knew what I was going to say. And I was like, I'm gonna still tell you, you know. Yeah. He was like, he said he didn't want to know because once he knew, he would be held accountable for it. Well, guess what? A couple months later, dude killed himself because of a woman. So if he'd have known about the scriptures, if he'd have trusted wisdom, And little old me, nobody, little brother, right?
Yeah.
If he'd have read the scriptures, it'd have told you that you're important.
Yeah.
And it told you don't trust these wicked women.
Right.
The Creator telling you that. Don't judge it. Don't love a woman just for her beauty. You know, she's going to be a harlot in this society. See, this is our light to our path. Meaning you grab hold of the light before you get on your path. So you can be ahead of the game. It's called preparation meets opportunity.
All right, let me get.
So his path was led in darkness, and he got tripped up along the way, and fell on something and killed himself.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh, keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
That's basically the message that we're coming to give. But like I said, that's the condemnation that light is coming to the world, and they love darkness and they hate the light because their deeds are evil, man. And that's basically what it boils down to. That's the message we're trying to give. Worship Yahweh and his and Yahweh Shai, because that's our deliverance, right? And that's it. But they don't want to hear that coming from us. But the ones that do want to hear are the ones that are watching faithfully every week, man. The ones that are leaving comments on the comment board. There's so much power in that. Like everybody rejoices seeing comments on the comment board. Like there's like one person got the message. That's all it really takes, man. Because that one person could bring in 20 more people.
Right. This is the point too, man. So with this message that the brother bringing out, the bishop bringing out, and the Akim, this is the spirit, you know, towards the wicked ones that don't want to listen, that's pushing the truth away, but also to the ones that are in the truth. You got to know your self-worth. So don't sell yourself out to these people around you, man. If they don't want to listen, there's billions of people on the earth, man. And there's 144,000 and 1/3 of people that's going to listen someday. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know your self-worth. You know, you got to understand what the Lord gave you, man. So you should be able to walk into a room full of 100 people and talk to each one of them about this truth. And they should not be able to change you. You should be able to possibly change each one of them or rebuke them. And you should come out unscathed and unchanged, man. Not doubting yourself, not being insecure about anything, man. Because knowing that you're sent to teach the sick, not to be contaminated by the sick. You gotta have your wetsuit on. You gotta have your hazmat on so you don't get toxic. Yep. Same thing. Every blue collar field has to have a uniform. Just like the Lord gave us a uniform. He said, put on the whole armor of the Lord. That's our uniform when we go in the hill. When we go into the fire, we're going with the firemen have. We got a watering hose. The police, they got bulletproof vests. The Lord told us to put on the whole armor. The breastplate of righteousness.
Shoes of peace.
Block out the wiles of the devil. That's what they shoot. Spiritual bullets.
Yeah, man. I'm talking about they unloading clips too.
So he fully equipped us, man, as his carpenter.
Yeah, with the proper tools.
With the proper tools, the proper measuring equipment to measure Israel. And that measurement goes into judgment.
God, come on, man. See, all the way around, full circle.
I think somebody has something to say too. You have something to say, bro?
Yeah.
Sure.
No, even if we don't have anybody to teach, the Lord said, teach unto the wind. So.
The wind is pretty entertaining, man.
And now, as long as we speak in the words of the Lord, it's not going to be vain work. That's all.
Right.
Yeah, man, the wind could be pretty entertaining. One of some of these people.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 30. They were none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away on the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them.
The prosperity of fools, man, and turning away of the simple, man.
Yeah, they're getting the fools rich.
Right.
And their prosperity is going to destroy them. They helping get Nate rich. And him prospering is going to help them get destroyed. Helping Biden it's going to help America get destroyed. That's prosperity of fools. Wow.
They were man, listen.
It's their fault. Y'all fault you got him rich.
Hey, damn, they gave him his constellation on that side. They give to my association. So shit, they all get the boot.
You started at the top.
30?
Yeah.
But it's Proverbs 1 and 30. They were none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof.
Right, they despise the reproof of the Lord. That's the judges coming out here and explaining and said, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, show my people Israel their transgression. But they were not here. So 2/3 of our people are still stuck on stupid, falling behind the counsel of this world. Go ahead.
Verse 31. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices.
So they're malnutrition, meaning they don't have the proper nutrients that they need to be able to hear the counsel of the Lord, man. Like so they're eating defiled bread, man. All right, they're eating the bread prepared by the Gentiles, man, by meeting these other nations. The philosophies of these other nations, they're stuck on wine, especially the Babylon juice, man, to where they want ultimate gain. If we had a whole bunch of money in our congregation, everybody would listen. But the fact that the Lord brought us meek and lowly, like he came riding in on a donkey, they choose not to listen to that stuff. But the ones that do listen, y'all that listen, y'all are so rich in the spirit that the Lord is going to continue to bless y'all, bless us continually, man. But the ways of the wicked will not understand the blessings that are bestowed upon us by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Buzz on, and then
all right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 21, and verse 6. He that hateth to be reproved is in the way of sinners, but he that feareth the Lord will repent from his heart.
You speak on it.
Khan, and I just brought that out to back up the bishop, man. And those the ones that's in the way of sinners are these guys right here, man. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that's listening to the hopeful elect that's listening to this video, you know, y'all are the ones that have repented, man. Just like each and every individual that you see before your eyes up here, man. We repented to the Lord. We searched out the things that was displeasing to him, and we're still doing it to this day because we got to strive into the truth and to death, man.
That's it. That was it. All right.
It's Matthew 11:16. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows and saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say ye have a devil.
Man, he said he have piped unto you, but you're not lamenting. I brought this out. I spoke about this last week about the reggae song, Ring the Alarm. It says, ring the alarm, but not a sound is crying. Nobody's lamenting at the message that the prophets are out here giving on the highways and byways, man. Now you should be first of all, you should be crying and repenting to the Lord. And from once you get all that out, right, now you can rejoice in happiness, because guess what? You could have been led to the slaughter, but the Lord gave you a way to be led to deliverance, man.
Hey, what's the scripture? Roughly paraphrasing, like, hey, when you see a brother mourning, you're supposed to take up that mourning with them. So we out here signing crying for all abominations, so they supposed to be signing crying with us, but they choose not to. Shit, they want to be a part of the abomination that we signing crying for, man.
Yeah. But we out here sighing and crying, but the Lord's really gonna give them something to physically cry about.
I'm about to say, just like
like a good daddy should.
Right. He's gonna give them something physically to cry about.
They bickering about the things that they have in lack right now in Esau's kingdom, but just like the brother cannot say, he gonna give you something physically to cry about, man. Right. Why? Because he's giving you the antidote rather to get out of that sick mindset you in, that delusion. All right, but yet you want to still sit there and self-sabotage and sit there and want to play victim, man.
Right.
You know?
And you know, everybody's jogging around on this health, and I was just looking around today, and I was looking at all the jogging Esau do. They don't do nothing but jog and lie. That's all they do is jog and lie. Right. And so it's like, you know, and where's the glory in that? But our people are still out here trying to be, oh, I gotta watch my diet. Yeah, it's good to have to watch your health and have nutritional value, and you know what I'm saying, in your body and stuff like that, and look out for what you put in your body. But also you got to understand what you have to have a healthy state of mind, man. You got to, and that's the only way you can get that is through the spirit, man. A healthy state of mind. That's why the Lord said he didn't give us a spirit of fear, but gave it a spirit of power and love and of a sound mind, bro. So if you don't have that, it doesn't matter how many miles, they like to say kilometers, that you jog a day. You know what I'm saying? No matter how many shakes you done made, and bars, protein bars you done ate, and all that, but it don't matter because when that day comes, the Lord's gonna make you burn up all them calories trying to get the hell on somewhere.
They would they run marathons and be vegan, but yet they'll go home and watch The Conjuring or some shit like that.
Right, and be all twisted in the state of mind and have no hope in nothing but what they can physically obtain. So once you take their physical possessions away from them, what do they have? Like it said in Obadiah, if thieves come and rob thee, like what you gonna have left? Esau ain't got nothing but his status and the fake money that he's using to manipulate people, that he used to take all the resources off the earth and hoard them so they can have control over everything. But oh no, you good. The Lord said He's gonna make them regurgitate all that up. So once that happens, where are they gonna be left with? You know, Esau can't go through nothing, man. He missed a car payment. He ready to jump off a bridge. You know what I'm saying? It's over. It's over. But like, bro, listen, we stay missing car payments and stuff like that, but we still have a sense of stability mentally as a nation of people, right?
No hope. They don't have no hope.
Right, they ain't got no hope worth a damn, man. They ain't even got carnal hope because like they frail. At least Jake can like feel strength within himself. Like I run through it, no, all that. They can't even do that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like there ain't nothing they can do. Like the only thing they can do is run and lie. That's it.
They'll put on that facade, though. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, man, yeah, I have faith, I believe." But when the shit finally hit the fan, yeah, man, I can't take it any. Johnny, what happened to the stuff we was talking about? It was a bunch of BS, dude. I can't do it. They want to blow their brains out, man.
Right. But Jake can stand up in the paint, but they won't stand up in the paint for the Lord, though. All right.
And it's Job 4:5. But now it has come upon thee. Select it. And it's speaking on the Temanite, all right, Esau. And it's Job 4:5. But now it has come upon thee, and thou faintest. It toucheth thee, and thou art troubled. Is not this thy fear, thy confidence, the uprightness of thy ways, and thy hope? Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? God. So just the wits of our Lord, you know, it's regards to a Temanite, all right, the smarts of Esau, but just Esau in general, just like the bishop was just speaking on, man. That's their pride that's getting driven away because why? We in the times to where all the curses that we was up under is getting put up on them according to Deuteronomy 30:7. So now that they're in straits, he's gonna be like a Chase Rowe, man. He gonna be like a deer with his head cut off, not knowing what to do. You know, persecuting the people, getting ready to show his horns ultimately.
Yeah, and ultimately that's gonna be to his own demise, because the Lord has to like harden his heart to get the devil to show his horns, man, so he can come in and do his thing, just like he told Moses with Pharaoh, like, bro, I got to prop him up, bro. I got to have him sticking his chest out so I can punch him dead in it. That's exactly what the Lord wants to do, man, with this devil, man. The Lord wants to cave all this in, bro. Like, you know exactly. I mean, what it was when you fall wrong in football, knock the wind out you. Man, listen, that's what the Lord is trying to do to this devil, but he cannot do it unless he make the devil be who he really is. He has to rise him up. He has to harden the devil's heart. So listen, boy, this devil finna get reckless, real reckless. But guess what? It don't matter. It don't matter because we have a hope that was given unto us by Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
All right. This is the book of 1 Timothy 4:8. For bodily exercise profited little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of life that now is, and of that which is to come.
God. But it is good to have a balance in between both. Like Apostle Gabar, he has this thing that he does now where he used to just do his walk and talk, but now he does bike trails. And for a guy, I think he's 56 years old, right? And the other day he just rode 30 miles on his bike.
Damn.
30 miles. He did a 15-mile to the point, and during the middle of the lesson on his way back, when he cut the lesson off, he said, I got to do the 15 miles to go back to where his house was, or where his car was or whatever. So it's good to have a balance of both, to be refreshed, man. Because like when we was in the world, we wanted to exercise and get all straight for it, what, to show off. But now we're getting ready for war, man. We're getting ready for war spiritually. So it's automatic that we get in these scriptures and build the mind up and build calluses in the mind where you don't get where nothing else really matters, right? You can go left with all that over there, and we stay focused on the scriptures, right? And then from there, we take that same inspiration that we got and we get in the gym and use that motivation that we got from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to pump us up, pump us up physically. They said bodily exercise profited little, but it's still a profit from that. So as long as we have a balance between the both, like going to the gym, like I want to get back in the gym, and I'm slowly getting my way back in there, but I had to build myself mentally first before me to be able to partake in that, man.
I just wanted to add is that even though we go out, we go to the gym, we exercise and things like that, but it's unprofitable unless we have Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because you see Esau, he's running around like a brute beast. He do this shit for no reason. You think exercising is just exercising. But when we do it, we know it's something more than that. We know that it's the Lord building up our endurance carnally and spiritually. Because Esau won't have that. He don't have any type of spiritual consciousness. But instead we have that because it was blessed unto us to have it. So even that which is now and which is to come, because we know what the reward is for the wicked and for the righteous. And that's what we keep, and that's what we hold unto. Instead of holding unto what's carnal and what we see, what the military and what Esau got, what weapons he has, and what agenda he has. But what we have is what the Lord has set out for us, man, and what He had made known, manifest unto us.
All right. Any more precepts? Because it's about I want to finish the rest of this. All right, let's get back to Judges. 23. Just go. Let's see what the Spirit takes.
All right. Just back at Judges chapter 2 and verse 16. Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges, but they went a-whoring after other gods.
See how the Lord talk about y'all that don't want to listen? That's a word that people don't like. You better not call nobody that, but the Lord calling you that for not listening to His counsel. Go ahead.
But they went a-whoring after other gods and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of the Lord, but they did not so. And when the Lord raised them up judges, then the Lord was with the judge and delivered them out of...
Wait a minute, read that part one more time, man.
And when the Lord raised them up judges, then the Lord was with the judge.
The Lord is with the judge. So by you telling me that or telling us that we can't, or you cannot judge me, the Most High is my judge. The Lord is with them. So He is actually judging you at that moment right there, reproving you, telling you to turn back to Him. Go ahead.
God. Then the Lord was with the judge and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies.
And who is the enemy right now? That's a problem. Another problem. 2/3 of our people don't really know who their enemy is, man. So they cleave unto the enemy and become an enemy to the Lord. Go ahead.
And delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. For it repented the Lord because of their groanings by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them.
That show you that the Most High controls everything, man. I got this map at my house, and it shows you all the prophets that the Lord sent during the time of Assyria and Babylon, and you'll see just a streak. It'll be like Isaiah from 8th century, and then it just fade. All of them. Who else? Daniel, you know? It's a starting and a stopping point, man. And that gives me it's like a haunt, but also a respect. Because you start to realize how short our time is here. And that we're literally here for a reason. Those judges, He said He would send them, and then He would protect Israel with that judge until their life ended. So that was literally the Lord creating a protection and then pulling that protection back. So that shows we just like robots to the Lord, man. The vessels.
He made vessels to honor and vessels to dishonor, man.
Yeah, man. He would raise up Samson, and then when Samson died, that was it. So this whole story was written. So all of our stories are written too.
All right, keep going to beautiful.
Control everything, man.
Verse 19. And it came to pass when the judge was dead that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers, and following other gods to serve them and to bow down unto them. they cease not from their own doings, nor from their stubborn way.
Right, so the Lord never put judges on this earth, but like Israel be running rampant right now. Go ahead.
And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he said, because that this people have transgressed my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice, I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died.
And those nations were set up to devour us, man. Go ahead.
That through them I may prove Israel, whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk therein, as their fathers did keep it, or not. Therefore the Lord left those nations without driving them out hastily, neither delivering he them into the hand of Joshua.
Come on, so check this out. So Lord ain't finna drive out Esau. He finna crank Esau up. He finna crank Esau up. So these judges that he put as a place of refuge and safety, that's why he said he's gonna make a man a hiding place, right? That man becomes a hiding place because he's protected by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So anything that's under him or with him, I'll say that, is protected also, man. So that's why it's a necessity to have these judges on the earth. Because without these judges on the earth, there's no Abba Bivens. There's no great millstone. There's no lions. There's none of that. Without these judges being risen up by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. So it's a necessity to have these judges in the earth to correct the minds of our people and lead them to deliverance, which ultimately is going to be given by Yahweh Shai, man. And be delivered to Yahweh. Any more precepts?
Come on.
All right, go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 25. It says, since the day that your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt unto this day, I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily rising up early and sending them. Yet they hearkened not unto me, nor inclined their ear, but hardened their neck. They did worse than their fathers. So the Heavenly Father has been sending his servants, his men, his prophets, his teachers, his preachers, his ministers, his apostles. But our people have been steady, not listening, steady turning a deaf ear, turning their shoulder away from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. And the Lord says what? They have not hearkened. They have not listened. And to this day, our people are still not listening. But the Lord gonna give them something to listen to in the times to come.
All right, real quick, we got 5%.
This is Thessalonians chapter, just a scripture back up in the car. That's 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. I'm gonna start at verse 8. It says, he therefore that despiseth not man, but the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, who have also given us unto his Holy Spirit. And to that out, the Lord has set up judges, starting parts all the way down, for us to be able to teach his word and to judge our people correctly, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable unto him. And when you despise the words that we have that he have put in this vessel to execute out to give to you, you will find out that you really despising him that gave us this word to give unto you.
God, man, beautiful. All right, we any more precepts? We're gonna close it out. Some battery time. All right. Lord willing, this lesson was edified and served its purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and trust judgments, man. All right, in righteousness. And with that, we're going to give all praises and glory to the Father and the Son and their holy name in the holy tongue. We're going to say, Kal, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Ha, Rakah, Quadash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and our elder Herawan as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, the sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. We almost out here. Shalom. Great job, Akim.